Breakfast of Champions.
What is it? White Claw.
Keeps me slaying. Just like water.
I got Rainbow Unicorn Bang.
Bang it, baby. Bang it.
Yes, sir.
All right, Leadheads. We are back with another episode of
Talking Lead.
There you go, baby.
You said it right. You're supposed to go, all right.
I rush it these days because everybody knows it's coming.
Yeah.
I don't make them wait for it anymore.
Oh.
But we're back, Leadheads. Glad you are tuning in. The Leadhead Brigade joining us again for another episode. And you probably recognize that voice there.
Yes.
Give him another hint. Give him some hints.
I'm about 5'1".
Mm-hmm. Opposite of that.
Clean shaven.
Opposite of that.
Yeah. I used to be a part of a show called We Like Shooting.
No.
You were
on that show.
I was on that show.
You've been on that
show. Talking Lead. Yes, that's what it is.
And you did some sort of a movie or something, right?
Yeah, it was
like Fast Cars or something.
Yeah, it was fast and you know,
bladed.
kind of fast and mediocre.
Fast and bladed.
Fast and, you know, somewhat happy, not quite furious.
So it's the Squatch. You figured it out. They're like,
me.
all right, we know who it is.
I'm back.
And he is back, and he's got some news that we're going to drop.
Yeah.
Got some big news. I think we might have alluded to it at SHOT Show, maybe.
Yeah, we dropped a lot of hints that probably annoyed everybody that was listening.
Yeah. So go back and listen to our prior episodes. They've all been of SHOT Show, the last like 4 or 5, and this one's not going to be any different. We're going to edit in some more SHOT Show interviews. We had a lot of females this year. I wanted to get the lady Leadheads represented and get them some content that they would probably enjoy. I know they're going to enjoy. And we're going to have on this episode Kristy Titus.
If you don't enjoy it, then Marty will make you enjoy it.
We'll make you enjoy it. We got the beautiful and talented Morgan Mills going to be joining us. We've got Jen and Norissa with Girls with Guns going to be joining us. And then we've got Courtney Johnson. And she is a competition-mounted shooter. So she rides horseback and shoots those balloons and things from horseback.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I know. It was really cool. It's probably one of my favorite interviews that I did during the whole SHOT Show. I was just sitting there just intrigued by everything she was telling me about what she does. And then we've got the ladies from Buck Knives. So we gathered up all the ladies during SHOT Show that were working and sat down, just had a little chat with them, and probably to Brooksy's chagrin, they got to vent a little bit. So great interviews coming up. So make sure you let the lady Leadheads know that this show is getting ready to happen. But before we get into that, Zeke, you know what I hear?
Is Gunny around still?
He is around doing great, doing the Jackwagon Train. He's going to haul it in now. So let's take care of some Jackwagon.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, the train has stationed, and as you guys know from last episode, I took a little vacation. I went down to the Caribbean. Do you say Caribbean or Caribbean? How do you say it?
I say Caribbean.
Okay. I've heard it either way. I guess it's good either way.
Yeah, I don't think it's wrong either way.
So I went down the Gulf of Mexico, the Mexico side of things. Hit Mexico, Honduras, and one of those other countries down there. I don't.
So you took the cheap cruise.
No, it wasn't cheap. That's for damn sure.
If you would have just waited a couple weeks till Corona kicked in, you could have got the cruise for $100.
Oh man, I'm getting inundated with emails now. 50% off, 70% off, free this, free that. But this was my first cruise I've ever been on. I've never been on a cruise before.
Oh, have you not?
No, this was my first one. So we went for my birthday, and it was a 7-day cruise. And, I was like, oh, it's probably, if I hate it, it's going to suck,
Yeah.
7 days, maybe a little long, but I was like, all right, but if I like it, then it probably won't be long enough.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, let's do a 7-day cruise. Booked it, went on it, and I enjoyed it. I had a good time for the most part. I mean, it was a good time. The reason I'm talking about this on the Jackwagon Train is because probably anybody who's been on a cruise, they realize that, all right, there's other fees associated with it. They don't tell you everything up front. So you think you're paying for everything up front, because we talked to our travel agent, and he's like, well, if you drink, then you probably want to get this drink package. If you want to eat the really good food, you probably want to get this food package. And, so we did the upgrades and shit like that. But when you get there, there's like even Uber upgrades on top of those upgrades. So you don't get all the greatest food. You don't get all the like top shelf drinks unless you buy like the Uber upgrade package. So
there's a little car like drive you around.
I wish.
You can see the map. Oh, not that kind of Uber.
Right. No, it wasn't a Lyft Uber. No.
Oh, gotcha.
No. So other than getting hit with all these bullshit additional fees, it was a good time. I had a great time.
Nice.
And I didn't get the coronavirus.
Good. That's a good thing.
So through all that, I'm kind of throwing the travel agent on the Jackwagon Train for not being fully honest and disclosed, all these additional things. Excursions, they talked about excursions, how they would cost extra, and so that wasn't a big thing. But like these port taxes and stuff like that. So we were ported at New Orleans for several hours before we took off.
Yep.
And while we were drinking there, we got hit with additional taxes.
Yeah.
Because we were, I guess, not in the ocean yet. So.
Right.
Had I known that, I probably would have paced myself a little bit more.
Yeah, when I did my
probably
cruise, it was so weird because, like, they give this little subtle announcement when you enter international waters, and then all of a sudden everything's so cheap. And then right before you get back into U.S. waters, they're like, okay, and you see these people scrambling towards like liquor store and all this other stuff that's in the cruise, trying to buy as much as they can before they get back.
Before they get the what is it called? The taxes. What is it called? Duties. Yeah. Duty. They said duty.
You get their duty.
Get their duty on.
You said duty.
Well, I didn't really buy anything. So all the food was included. All the drinks were included. As long as the drink wasn't over $15. It was included in my, and I could order 2 at a time on my card, and then Pepper could get 2. So we were doing 4 drinks at a time every time. Because they got it down pat on those cruise ships too, because they know people got these drink packages. They're going to be getting their money's worth. So I think they purposely serve you slow.
Yeah.
So that was the biggest frustration over the first 2 days is figuring out a way to overcome that. Is like I can go down one deck, because nobody's down there right now, hit that bar, order my drinks, come back up.
Yeah.
And get it like 30 minutes quicker than sitting there waiting on the bartender.
Oh, yeah.
Little tips and tricks you learn, I guess, as you go.
I tell you, the one thing I regret when I went on a cruise is people were telling me, oh, you got to go to the nice dinners, the dress up, And I didn't do it the first I think we had a 7-night cruise. And the first 3 or 4 nights, I was like, I just don't want to go sit with people. I don't know who they are. And then finally, somebody was like, no, dude, you've got to go. And I'm talking, the food was unreal. I mean, the buffets were nice too, but the food at the like formal dinner where the captain comes and walks around everybody's table and says was unreal. And then, like the first night we went, I ordered, one of each of the things, the different courses. And then the second night, I couldn't decide if I wanted the steak or this or that or the other. And the waiter's like, you can order as many as you want.
Right, exactly.
I'm like, I can order like 4 entrees? He goes, yeah. I was like, well, bring me this, this, and this.
Exactly. Appetizers,
Oh, yeah.
After the second day, I figured that out, and that's what I was doing. I would say, I want these 4 appetizers. I want these entrees. It was game on once I figured that out. But yeah, we went to some of those nicer ones too with the dress up, and we dressed up a couple of nights. And I got to say, the entertainment on these cruise ships is top notch, man.
Yeah, it's impressive.
We did a comedy show. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's like a better known comic. He's not like a uber superstar comic, but He was pretty good. And then they had this musical. It was called $1 Million Quartet.
Yeah.
And it was about the time in Memphis when Elvis, Johnny Cash, who's the piano player dude, Great Balls of Fire?
Oh, Jerry Lee Lewis.
Jerry Lee Lewis and Blue Suede Shoes. Who wrote that?
Elvis?
No, he sang it, but the other guy.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, what was his name? It's not Porter Wagner, is it? Porter Wagner. Yeah, I believe it's Porter Wagner.
Oh.
Anyway, somebody like that. It'll come to me in a minute. You guys are probably yelling at the screen right now. But that was a really good.
I'm looking it up.
Really good. Okay, look it up. Carl Perkins. That's who it is.
Is that who it was?
Yes, Carl Perkins. Got it. Yeah, came to me. But that was a really good show too. And then there was.
Look at you! You got it right. Dang.
Yeah, Carl Perkins.
I'm impressed.
My Alzheimer's isn't kicked in yet, so. But it will. But no, overall, I mean, it was a good time. I'll do it again. I'll do another cruise. Probably a different ship this time. The pool wasn't that great. It was small. I mean, my pool was bigger than the one they had on the ship for 4,000 people. I mean, it was a huge ship. So.
Yeah.
But, there's my first Jackwagon. I'm going to throw my travel agent on there just for not being fully disclosing all the additional fees and stuff like that. But it didn't stop us from having a good time. You can't keep a good man down.
No.
Shit. Who's your Jackwagon?
My Jackwagon? So most people know, just because it was all over the news, that last Monday night, a pretty nasty tornado ripped through downtown Nashville, went through Hermitage, Lebanon, stayed on the ground for over an hour, ended up destroying part of Cookville, which is up on the Cumberland Plateau.
Like 75 miles away, yeah.
Oh yeah, it was bad. I think the total count is up to 23,
20, wasn't it?
23 that have died, and the good news is 77 people were missing for like 3 days, and they have found all 77, so that's a good news.
Yeah.
But my Jackwagon train is anytime a natural disaster happens like this, whether it's something like Katrina or this, or even the ice storms in Atlanta a couple years ago.
You got opportunist.
That first night, because it went through at like 12:30, but at like 3 o'clock, people were already getting busted for looting.
Yeah.
And it just makes me sick. It disgusts me that people will take advantage of other people's losses.
Yeah. At the worst possible time of their lives, and people are trying to profit from it.
The stupidest shit too. They're stealing flat screen TVs, and it's like, dude, that house was getting rained on, and the walls were ripped open. Those TVs don't work.
Yeah,
but
and the TV may have been from in Nashville. It may have ended up in Cookville. I mean,
yeah,
who knows? But
yeah, exactly. But it doesn't matter what they.
No,
stole.
It doesn't.
If they were
stealing.
A pencil, if they stole a pencil from a house, you're a Jackwagon.
Absolutely. Now, you know what I heard?
What's that?
I went out with Sheepdog Impact Assistance. They send a disaster team down here, and I hooked up with them, and we were in a subdivision in Mount Juliet.
Uh-huh.
And one of the rescue guys that was there was coming up and telling us, like, hey, you guys need to lock your doors. Don't leave your keys in there. Lock your doors.
Yeah.
Because people were coming and stealing people's cars while they were helping these people, with their houses that have been demolished and cutting trees and stuff like. People were just coming and stealing cars and just drive off with them.
It takes a special kind of stupid evil to do shit like that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So I fully agree. There's a special place in hell for those people.
Yep.
So yeah, good Jackwagon. The looters, definitely looters in any kind of tragedy.
Oh yeah.
Deserve to be on the train tracks, tied up and run over.
Yep.
So I got this one. I want to point out, not necessarily a Jackwagon. I don't know who the Jackwagon may be on this till more information comes out. But gun website sold ammo to Texas teen accused of school shooting, and there's a lawsuit on it. And this has to do with that Jackwagon in Texas, Demetrius, and I can't even say his name. It's Pagortazizis. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go with that. Pedorcatis.
Dork. Yeah, I like that. Pagortiz, the Santa Fe high school shooter, killed 10 people back in 2018. So I guess the victims' parents are suing Lucky Gunner, and they're accusing Lucky Gunner of selling this kid ammo. He was 17 at the time, and says he ordered 50 rounds of hollow point handgun ammunition, 105 rounds of 12 gauge, and then he bought an additional 35 rounds of shotgun ammunition, is what they're saying. And, they're saying he did it. Now, I bought stuff from Lucky Gunner before, and I know that they've got measures in place to check ID and stuff like that you got to verify age and stuff. So, I mean, we don't know that this guy ordered it himself. They're saying, Lucky Gunner saying that he misrepresented himself, which is, probably the case here. But more of that will be coming in the future. But it's just something to keep your eyes on. And if that lawsuit does go through, you can probably see a lot more follow suit on ammo companies or online ammo retailers getting hit with that bullshit. Mm-hmm. So that's one to keep your eyes on. And then the other one, and this has been in the news quite a bit, is in New Jersey. Gun owner is fighting charges for carrying a firearm for which he had a permit and ammunition, state police have publicly said, is legal. So I think this guy was a security guard or something. Roosevelt, Twyne. How would you say that? Twine?
Twine. Yep.
25-year-old, and they got to point out he's an African-American security guard.
Mm-hmm.
He was arrested by Rossville Park Police in February after traffic stop stemming from tinted windows on his car. So they were a little too dark. Let's kind of skim through this. It says he was erroneously charged for illegally carrying a firearm because he was in possession of a carry permit. So if he's got a carry permit, he's legal to carry.
Well, and that's the thing that got me about this one is to get a carry permit in New Jersey is hard AF.
Yeah.
And
are you monitoring your language now that you're... We haven't dropped the news yet, but we're getting ready to. Is that...
Oh, yeah. It's hard as fuck. But it's one of those things where it's like, if those police know how hard it is to get a carry permit and they see that he has a carry permit, they should have automatically kind of been at ease because he went through all those steps and processes to do that.
Sure. But
they found hollow points.
Exactly.
And like, oh, because it's hollow points, you're a criminal. What?
Yeah. Then they claim he was transporting his handgun illegally. He had a permit to carry a handgun. The law makes it clear that it's illegal to transport unless you are licensed pursuant to their Chapter 58, and that is precisely what a handgun carry permit is. So he had a permit. He was legal to carry. The hollow points, they're saying, it's the Hornady critical duty ammunition. Mm-hmm. That's in question. They say it's not considered to be hollow point ammunition.
Yeah.
And not illegal to possess in the state of New Jersey.
Right.
So, I don't know if this guy just copped an attitude with these people, when they pulled. I mean, who knows how it all went down. I'm sure they've got cameras of the whole thing. But in the end, they're in the wrong, and this guy probably will prevail, hopefully.
Well, and Coley Noir had a good point when he made a little post about it. It's like, okay, if his tent was too dark, okay, little traffic misdemeanor. Sure. Here's your ticket. Thanks for carrying, and have a good day. That's all it should have been.
Thanks for carrying legally, yeah.
And technically, I'd like to, well, I don't want to say technically because I don't know what the laws are in New Jersey. But once he says he did all the right things, he told them, I am carrying a firearm, here's my permit. He did all the steps correctly. At what point were they allowed to search his gun for the type of ammo that he had? That's the part that I'm kind of like, okay, does that require a warrant to do that? And I would assume so in most states. I don't know New Jersey, so I don't want to say that.
But that's the thing is we would just be assuming. I mean, he could have volunteered the information. Who knows?
Right, exactly.
They could have been taught, oh, you carry a Glock. Oh, okay, cool. What kind of ammo are you using in that? Kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they could have just, maybe just through conversation got it out of him somehow. But we don't know. So I mean,
no matter how it happened, it's shady that they pushed it to that point so
absolutely.
they could make an arrest.
Yeah. And the whole thing's a little shady there as to what's their motivation behind this whole thing.
Right.
So so those guys, the police that escalated that, which obviously probably didn't need to be escalated. Again, I don't know the full story, so
yeah.
But on the onset, it looks like the cops are in the wrong on this one.
Yeah.
So, and I just want to point this out: gun printing files impeded by court. So, I think back, when you were on the show, 3D gun printing kind of was it first came out.
Oh yeah,
probably about 5 years ago or so.
Yep.
Somewhere around there, and you haven't really heard much about it since then. But apparently, there's still legislation to ban 3D printed guns in some states. So, this is Seattle. President Donald Trump's administration was blocked from enforcing new rules on 3D printed guns that states, including New York and California, say would lead to widespread proliferation of homemade firearms, which it's completely legal to make your own firearms. Right? Yep. Right, Zeke?
Absolutely.
Zeke has firsthand knowledge about that, and we're going to talk about that in the second half of the show coming up. And
after you stop dinging.
Somebody stops trying to call me. Spam. Oh, wait, that may be my ammo guy delivering my ammo. Stand by. Speaking of ammo.
Wow. We're going to get an on-air ammo delivery. That'll be sweet.
Speaking of ammo.
You have like your own personal ammo delivery guy?
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Yeah, man. Fiocchi on the way.
Hey, Marty, this is John. Great. I have a delivery here, and it's got you down as a contact. Your phone number, so if you give me a call, 615.
Bleep, 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 bleep.
Oh.
You're telling me he's live on the air?
You're on the Talking Lead podcast. Hello?
Hello, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
All right. Hey, is this lead what I got here for you?
You got some lead for me, baby.
All right. I got it for you. Are you close to in there?
I am right at. Are you at 3 yet?
No, I am. I'm actually at Sam's Club up here making a delivery. I thought I'd call you before I headed that way. I'm not too far from you, though.
Okay, that sounds good. Come on.
Just one pallet on my way, brother. I'll be there in a minute.
All right, appreciate it.
All right,
bye.
You gotta love when your delivery guy knows what you're getting and is excited about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah.
I got some lead for you, and he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know what I do. So
you gotta toss him a box when he gets there.
Yeah, and he goes and kills somebody with it, and then then I'm fucked. So where was I? After that rude interruption, the widespread proliferation of homemade firearms. So President Donald Trump's administration was blocked from enforcing new rules on 3D printed guns that states, including New York, California, say would lead to the widespread proliferation of homemade firearms. And then we were talking about that's going to lead into your big announcement. And I mean, how many firearms have you made yourself?
3.
Okay. I mean, I've made at least half dozen ARs.
Now, are we talking about like 80%, or are we talking about just building from parts?
Well, and I think in this case, context with the 3D printed guns, we'd probably be talking about 80%ers. So
okay, so 3. Yep.
Which is completely legal, as long as you're not selling them. Then you can.
You can't trade them,
yeah.
Transfer them. Now, you can, but then you have to go get an FFL gunsmith to serialize it for you and register that serial number.
Right.
But if you die, it has to be destroyed. It can't be handed down, nothing like that.
Even if it's put in a trust?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. That's the one way that a trust cannot cover the firearm.
Gotcha. So this is still an issue, obviously, the 3D printed guns. I haven't heard of anybody printing anything recently. I mean, there may have been some stuff. I just, I may have missed it. But a federal judge in Seattle on Friday issued a preliminary injunction blocking the rules which the states contend are a toothless prohibition on gun printing software that would let anyone with a 3D printer, including criminals and terrorists, make firearms at home. I mean, criminals and terrorists don't have a problem getting guns now because they're criminals and they're terrorists and they steal them. And they're going to make them anyway. So these laws aren't going to stop that.
Nope.
The rules were scheduled to take effect on Monday. So something else that you guys may want to keep an eye on, especially if you're into the 3D printing stuff. So I even heard they're 3D printing drugs now, pharmaceuticals.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at some point, if the technology gets good enough, I mean, you're going to be able to 3D print. I mean, they can 3D print a functioning heart now.
Right.
So it's going to get more and more technologically advanced. And the scary thing is, and this is off a TV show I watched recently, I can't remember what it was, but they were 3D printing a virus. You know, that kind of stuff could eventually be coming down. It's a comedy show called Medical Police.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't real, or was it real?
No, but it was funny because while there was humor in the fact that they 3D printed a virus, which is microscopic, if the technology continues to advance and you can make something like that function, whether it's with nanotechnology or something like that, that's a scary thing too.
Yeah. Well, I watched, what's that movie with Vin Diesel, that new one, where he's like a super soldier?
Bloodshot,
yeah. So nanobot technology. You know, I mean, that's real. It exists, and those are just, they're robots, and they could probably 3D print those too. So I don't see why they couldn't do a virus to do the same thing.
So anybody that is thinking about seeing Bloodshot, which is a comic book based movie, which is good.
Is it comic book based?
Yeah, there's a comic book. It was like one of the newer popular comic books. Anyways, what I was getting at, pay your money and go watch it, because I know somebody that's involved with that show or that movie, and that's how they make a living.
So that's one of the movies that I would pay to go see.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah.
Don't tell me anything about it, because I'm going to see it Friday.
So there's nanobot technology involved. That's all I'll tell you. All right, so that does it for, unless you got any more jackwagons.
Nope.
So we're going to get into our SHOT Show interviews with the ladies, the lady lead heads here. Again, make sure you go tell your lady friends, your lady lead heads that this is happening, and you guys are going to enjoy it. So stand by. We got it coming up right now. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Remind me to get you a shirt before we leave too.
Okay, that'd be great.
I want to do pictures of us by the.
Absolutely, and then
stuff.
I'll cross post on all my stuff and all my social media, and yeah.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah,
it's going to be awesome.
That'd be great.
All right, lead heads, we are back. We're at final day. Was it day 98 and a half? I don't know. SHOT Show seems like it goes forever. But this is the last day Friday, whatever day that is. And we're at the Buck Knives booth, the official lead quarters of Talking Lead. We use a little plays on the words of lead and lead quarters.
I like it.
Our listeners are lead heads, and they are part of the Lead Head Brigade. You see her shirt? Show her your shirt there,
I like
Katie.
it. The Leadhead Brigade.
Leadhead Brigade. Yeah.
Nice.
So, joining me now, we have Courtney Johnson. And Courtney does something unique. I don't think we've ever had anybody on the show that does what you do. So introduce yourself to the Leadheads.
Well, like you said, I'm Courtney Johnson, and I do cowboy mounted shooting.
Cowboy mounted shooting.
Yes.
What is that?
It's I always call it Annie Oakley. It's very Annie Oakley. So I run around on my horse, and I shoot 2 single action revolvers off of my horse, and we shoot at balloons.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's kind of a combination between barrel racing and target shooting.
Okay.
So it's timed, and we are running as fast as we possibly can and trying to be accurate at the same time. So we're shooting black powder blanks.
Oh,
and
okay.
Yeah, otherwise we wouldn't have any spectators.
I was going to say, this sounds, as a spectator sport, it's pretty dangerous.
Yeah. So there's about 68 courses of fire in the Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association.
Okay.
That's the biggest association right now. There's a couple others coming in, but
Gotcha.
we random draw courses, and then we're shooting at balloons. You cross the timer, you run the course as set, and if you miss a balloon, it's a 5-second penalty. If you knock over a barrel, it's a penalty. If you drop your gun in the course of fire, it's a penalty, which happens.
I'm sure it does. Yeah.
If you come off, if you dismount your horse before you cross the timer, there's a penalty. If you do anything past the timer, you're fine.
Okay. Anything past the timer, you're good.
Yeah.
That's your safe zone.
Yeah. So it's a really big test of your horsemanship. There's lots of different courses. Things always change. It's never the same. Like barrel racing pattern is always the same. The courses that we run are always different, and they're randomly drawn, and you might not know until the morning of or the night before
what you're going to get.
Yeah.
So you can't really prepare for it. You can't practice it.
Well, you can. But you don't know. I mean, maybe it's a pattern you haven't shot before, or it's a new one, or there's certain ones that won't work in certain arenas depending on sizes, and so.
But everybody's shooting the same one, but nobody knows what it is until.
Everybody knows when everybody knows.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, do you ever go up like the night before as they're setting up and just sneak a peek or?
Well, you can usually walk around the outside of the arena and check it out,
or send spies in. Or,
they're so great. They usually post stuff before, so you have an idea, and then everybody gets out there.
So you just work on the honor system. And,
people are pretty honest, and so you can only do so much with 10 cones and balloons and some barrels.
So what's the average time length that it takes to run one of these courses?
It depends on the course. So there are courses that can take 9 seconds. There are courses that can take 25 seconds. It just depends.
So, but that's fast.
Yeah. So you're talking.
So it's not like you're doing like a 2-minute, 3-minute, or something like that. Like
no.
It's like boom, 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 quick.
It's really quick. Yeah. And I mean, a 9-second course. We're shooting single action. So, and there's a gun change in there.
Right.
So that's less than a shot per second on some of those patterns.
That's fast.
Yeah.
You're fast.
We try to be.
So do you video this?
I do.
So do you have like a YouTube channel or somewhere where we can go and?
Yep. I have a website, mountedshooter.com, and there's a YouTube, The Mounted Shooter. That's me.
Okay.
And same thing with my Instagram, The Mounted Shooter. So,
The Mounted Shooter.
The Mounted Shooter. Find me on the gram.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Marnie's looking you up right now.
There you go. Yeah. So my website is really geared towards people wanting to get into the sport.
Gotcha.
When I first started, I made a lot of mistakes that could have been avoided, and I learned a lot by messing up. And it was a challenge, and I asked a ton of people, and I pestered the crap out of my local club members to get the information that I needed. And I really wanted to provide a resource for people to get in and get started so they could learn from my mistakes and have less barrier to entry. Right. Because there's a lot going on in this sport.
There has to be.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to know how to ride a horse. Mm-hmm. You got to know how to shoot a gun. Oh, okay. So Marnie is showing me your Instagram page right now. Mm-hmm. And you're on a horse. Yeah,
that's my yellow horse. That's Stella.
Stella. She's beautiful.
She is. She's lucky. She's pretty. It's she was difficult to bring along. So
she's a little stubborn.
She was a little stubborn. She tested my horsemanship skills on more than one occasion. I almost sold her about a year and a half ago.
Oh, bless her heart.
Oh, jeez, she was just. I was so mad at her, and but she's come right along. So it's good.
So do you have more than one horse that you? I mean, you like guns, and if one goes down, you got to have a backup, right?
Yeah, actually, Stella's my backup. So I have this great red horse. Her name is Copper. She is just dynamite. Horsemen get lucky once in their lifetime to have that $1 million once in a lifetime horse, and I got her. Yeah. Copper is my $1 million once in a lifetime.
Now, does she cost $1 million?
No, thank goodness.
Okay. That's because this is an expensive sport.
It is. And so I rode Copper for a long time. She brought me up through the ranks, and she she has an injury, and you know, I could get super nerdy on you, but she's got a navicular problem in her front left, and I could run her and, you know, pump her full of medicine, but it's not worth it. So she's semi-retired now, and I'm going to breed her and do that. So Stella was my backup, and now she's my starting quarterback.
Nice.
Yeah, so she went from C squad to starting quarterback in one season, and we donated a lot of money the first season. We were added money almost all summer, but it worked out really good, and now she's just a rock star. We this last summer won an high overall, so we beat everybody, like all the boys, which is a big...
All the boys. So is this a mixed sex, I guess, competition? So
big gender split.
It's not just women competing against women, men competing against men. It's competitors competing against competitors.
It's a little complicated. It's I call it a very sophisticated form of gambling.
Okay.
So there's different levels. So everybody starts out as a level 1. So like I started out as a ladies level 1. If you started tomorrow, you'd be a men's level 1.
Okay.
And there's also senior men's and senior ladies.
Okay.
And that's in the Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association. That's how they classify. And so they have categories 1 through 6. So as a new shooter, you would not be competing directly head to head against a world champion who's been doing it for 15 years.
Okay.
Who's going to whoop your hiney all day long.
Maybe. I mean, you don't know me.
So then you can win your class. You can win your class,
sure.
and a majority of your money stays in your class, and then there's always some of your entry fee that goes to the overall and reserve overall.
Okay.
So they'll rank everybody overall, and so you can see where you stand.
Yeah.
So if you know, it's really cool. If you win your class, you're usually doing pretty darn good, and then if you know your reserve overall, high overall, or ladies overall, that's pretty good.
So you can see how everybody's doing and how you compared, not just in your class, but I mean you did this, but you can see everybody else is like overall I did you know.
So I'm a ladies level 3.
Kind of like competition shooting.
Yeah. So I'm a ladies level 3, and you have to have so many wins before you can move up to the next division. So
I gotcha.
Yeah, it's pretty.
So how long have you been doing this?
I started doing this in 2010.
Okay, so really not too long.
No, and it's one of those things where it took a long time to get. Yeah, this will be my 10th season coming into it. So I grew up riding horses. But I showed English. Like, this could not be further from my roots. It could not be further from my roots. Anybody out there's a horse person, I showed saddle seat and saddle breadth, which is very, very different. Yeah. So a total different spectrum.
So what got you interested in wanting to do this? Do you have a family member that was doing it, or?
No, I'm the only person in my family, even in my extended family, that does horses.
Okay.
I'm just that 12-year-old girl who was in love with horses, and I just never grew out of it.
Yeah.
And
so you didn't like raise horses growing up or anything like that?
I didn't grow up in a rodeo family, nothing like that. We didn't have a big ranch or nothing, and I begged my parents for riding lessons when I was 5.
Where are you from?
I'm from Spokane, Washington.
Okay.
So we did that. My mom and dad were so great, and they got me lessons, and they had no idea.
Didn't know what they were getting into.
No, it started this whole thing, and I did English for a long time, and when I was in college, I rodeoed in college. So my really good friend and I barrel raced and team roped, and was never very good at it, and just kind of.
Now, when you said you did English, what is that?
It's just a total different style of riding. So
okay.
no saddle horn.
You were majoring in English.
No, it's it's an English style of riding. So I wore what would be an equivalent of a men's 3-piece suit with like a derby hat
and Lord.
the whole. Oh yeah, totally different. Some occasions we get to dress up and wear like a beaver skin top hat.
Was this a competition?
Yeah, you ride around in a circle and they judge you. It's very subjective.
It sounds like it's very judgmental. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they don't like your hat, or
it's a little snooty. I'm not gonna lie.
It's a little snooty.
It's a little, well, it's a little bit about who's got what money. Very, very political. And, but it taught me to be a really good rider. I learned a lot doing that. And then when I started rodeoing, like I said, I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do it, and I could catch some heels on cows and dally off, but it wasn't.
Now, all these words you're throwing out there. I mean, this is new
This is
territory
new.
for
This is
me.
new. I did a little team roping, so I'd rope the hind end.
Okay.
And do that, and my roping partner Megan would, catch the horns, and we dabbled a little bit in college rodeo, and did some barrel racing and some goat tying, which
my
was
gosh.
fun. Yeah, you just run down and jump off your horse and
You
tie
gotta
up
be
a
in
goat.
shape to do this stuff. So
Yeah.
I mean, you're like on a physical training regiment.
I
You
am,
hit the
yeah.
gym and
yeah,
working
I'm
out.
going to go to the gym later today. yeah. I try to stay fit, and my philosophy is if I can weigh less, my horse is probably going to run faster.
They're going to appreciate it too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't run as fast as if I gotta carry 30 pounds with me.
Right,
So
yeah.
I try to stay in shape as good as I can.
Yeah.
For that, I expect my horses.
Are you still
to be
doing
good.
the roping stuff? Or are you strictly the competition shooting now?
I'm competition shooting.
Okay.
I'll go do a little barrel racing jackpot every now and then, just for fun.
Yeah.
Just for something different. And then my red horse, I'm gonna have her do some trail competitions just to keep her going, keep her active.
Yeah. Give her a workout.
Yeah,
Keep
give her
fit.
a purpose. It's like like dogs.
Like
They're
service
working like
dogs,
service
yeah.
dogs. They like having a purpose, and they
Yeah.
can be destructive if they have nothing to do. So
Right.
the horses are the same way.
So how many horses do you have?
I have two
got-
full-size horses.
Okay.
And then I have a mini, so I guess I have 2 1/4.
What's a mini?
I have a miniature horse.
Okay, so one of those Shetland ponies or something
No,
like that?
it's its own breed.
Oh, okay.
It's on my Instagram. There's a little picture of her. Her name is Penny.
Is that just like a pet or?
She's a companion.
Does she do something?
She's just a buddy.
She's your
She
bud.
can do stuff. I'm a little lazy.
Is she like a
about
lap horse? Is it that small where you can sit in your lap?
She's about this tall.
Okay. Well, my Great Dane was about that
She's
big.
probably weighs about that much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I need to do some more stuff
funny.
with her. I'm a little lazy with it, but she can. Apparently, she's broke a cart. It's like you can pull a little carriage with her.
Okay.
And I need to find a real handy kid that can get on her. And apparently, she's broke to ride too. But
Oh,
I
okay.
can't ride her. I'm too big, and my feet touch the ground on both sides. Yeah.
So how many people would you say are in the mounted shooting sport around the country? Is it a big sport?
It's a niche sport, totally.
Yeah.
We're a small industry. So my member number when I started in 2010 is 9,392.
Okay.
So there's member numbers up into the 15,000s. I don't know how many active shooters there are though, as far as who's consistently
Yeah.
competing.
Because
But
this is an expensive sport.
yeah.
I mean, you thought golf was expensive or 3-gun was expensive. This.
Well,
You gotta have a horse. You gotta have
Yeah.
trailer. You gotta feed the horse.
when people say that to me all the time,
It
and
looks like you gotta wear the costumes too.
well, yeah, and we can dress traditional. You can dress traditional Western if you want, like old timey, or
Yeah.
you can do modern 5-pocket jean kind of thing. And
And that's a requirement, though, isn't it? You have
Yeah.
to wear certain.
yeah, so
You can't just go out there in jeans and a t-shirt. And
no,
Yeehaw!
no. So we're required to wear, if you're gonna do modern dress, 5-pocket jeans, button-up Western shirt. You have to wear a cowboy hat, and then you have to wear what they're called chinks.
Chinks.
I know. They're called chinks. It's a hat. It's like a
Chinks.
half strap. So
Okay.
you can wear the full length like you see the bull riders wearing.
Uh-huh.
But yeah. So we wear chinks. So I wear
Are those like chaps?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're just a shorter version. They go down to the knee and then they're fringed. And of course, I gotta have mine all blinged out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You gotta bedazzle that shit.
Yeah.
Come
Oh, I
on
got
now.
glitter conchos and one of my sponsors got me all hooked up with those. So Sierra Custom Leathers. He does
Nice.
Virgil does a great job, and they're gorgeous. They're just beautiful.
Sweet. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get into this. I'm gonna start watching this. Is this televised or?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
But they do some live streams on the CMSA website. So
Okay.
Zoc Productions does
Is this
that.
all over the country that they have these competitions? You do anything
Yeah.
in Tennessee?
Oh yeah, they're
Oh,
all
okay.
they're all over. They're
I'll have
all
to
over.
check and see.
Yeah.
I'm in the Nashville area, so.
Yeah. So there's clubs everywhere, all over the country, and a couple up in Canada. And so if somebody wants to go watch an event, you can just go log on to CMSA website, so Cowboy Mounted Shooting Association. You can look up local clubs, you can search by state and all that, and find a shoot close to you. And it's usually free for spectators.
Cool.
To go and watch, and it's a fun time.
So you're talking about different rankings and stuff like that, and what are the prizes? What do you win at these events?
Buckles and money.
Buckles
and money.
Oh, look at that buckle.
Yes, this is my most proud. This is my high overall from this last summer. So
I want one.
Yeah, I had never won a buckle until I started mounted
awesome.
shooting, and
I'll take a picture of that.
Yeah, and I that was all I wanted, and because when I showed English, you win ribbons and crystal and silver, which when you're in middle school, like, what are you going to do with a crystal goblet and a silver tea set? You put your ribbons on the wall in your room like every good little horse girl does, but after that you're like, oh, that was great.
So what kind of money are we talking about in these? Big money that we're winning?
No, not a ton. It depends. So, like I said, it's sophisticated form of gambling. So when we go to a major shoot, so like a couple years ago, I came back down. I was down here in Vegas for our Western Championships, and I did really well. I had a great shoot. I got second in my class. I won the double down, which is a side match where you pay double your entry, and you get to do one run for the money based off your qualifying times. And then they had the eliminator, and I placed in that, which is where you run and they eliminate people after every round. Okay. I placed in that, and then you can get money for entering the clean shooter. So where if you don't miss, they split the pot. Oh. So I didn't quite make money on that shoot, but I only lost about $300 by the time it was all said and done.
So is the goal of this sport to not lose as much money as you put into it, or
I think.
Do you try to break it? I don't.
No, nobody's
I'm
making.
trying to see the reward, the end, the pot at the end of the rainbow here.
Nobody's making a living off their winnings from Cowboy Mounted Shooting. It's not like rodeo, unfortunately. I think it could be.
So are you making your money through the sponsors?
I get a little bit of help through my sponsors from them, product and things like that.
So you can't make a career out of this.
There are some people that do. They're usually horse trainers. So their money's coming from training horses. I got you. And they're spending money to get to where they need to go, and they're usually winning. Those guys get to do it all the time, and this is I call it a jobby.
What is that?
It's a job. That's a hobby. That's a job.
A jobby.
It's a jobby. Yeah. So the sponsorships or endorsement deals have been really helpful in supporting this very expensive hobby for me. So that's been really great. Okay. But I mean, you can win a couple grand in a weekend if you're really hot, or you could not win anything.
The money you're putting into it, that's not.
Yeah. Well, it's not any more expensive than people who got who got a safe full of guns, and they're doing 3-gun shoots every weekend, and they can switch back and forth.
The trailer, the horses, the
4-wheelers, snowmobiles, all that stuff is.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
And you got to have the land for the horses, and the barns.
Yeah, but it's a passion.
I'm broke just thinking about it. I'm already broke.
My paycheck's sitting in my pasture. So.
I haven't even started yet, and I'm broke. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's a little hard to get into if you don't already have horses and stuff. Yeah. So that makes it a little tough. But if you've got that, and you're just looking at buying guns, holsters, and a pair of chinks.
Let's talk about guns, because this is Talking Lead.
We've talked a lot about horses. We should talk some firearms.
Well, it's interesting. I didn't know about any of this stuff, so I like to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what kind of hardware are you using?
My go-to from day one is been a pair of old Ruger Vaquero bird's heads. Okay. And I scored those. I scored one new in the box. Ooh. I know. I was super excited about that.
How'd you do that?
I was on Gunbroker, and nobody was bidding on it because it had some stippling on the back strap. Oh, and I was like, I like that. And it actually, when I got the other pistol, I had my gunsmith match it, and I really like it because it gives me a little gription. Yeah. In the summertime when it's a little
the stipple.
Yeah, the stippling works. Yeah.
So I need to hook you up with this guy. So he's got a new coating, and just remind me, and we'll talk about it off air. But okay, it could definitely help you.
All right, yeah. And then I had to wait for 2 months to get my Super Blackhawk hammers because they were just out. I don't know.
Had to make them.
I was on the waiting list, so I got them, and I had my gunsmith put those in, and they're just the hammers on those are turned down a little further down so my little thumbs can reach.
Sure.
And they're fatter, so my thumbs doesn't slip
easier
off.
to.
Yeah, a little easier. And then I got my guns all slicked up, so they're ready to go. And then they shaved a couple millimeters off the front of the cylinder, so that when we're shooting all weekend, that black powder really gunks up, so it keeps that cylinder spinning.
Yeah.
So we're not. I mean, the last thing I want to do is miss because I've got built up residue in my cylinder. That would be tragic.
That would.
Yeah.
that would
yeah.
be bad.
That would be really bad. And I have the stainless steel, and I always recommend my clients to do stainless steel because the bluing is pretty, and I really like it. But that black powder is, as I'm sure you and your listeners know, is super corrosive.
Sure.
So the stainless is great.
Yeah. Keep them clean.
Keep them clean. And I'm gonna admit I've not the most diligent about when I get home cleaning them right away.
He's like, I'll get to that later.
I'm like, oh, and then you're like, oh, geez, it's been 5 days. Oh, it's been a week.
Oh, no.
Whoops. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, yeah, they're, and I've got the little shorty 3 3/4 barrels. So they clear my holsters faster.
Right.
So it's all about speed. I mean, we're down to the thousandth or hundredth of a second. So those little transitions matter.
Yeah.
You can shoot whatever length barrel you want. There's one guy that's got this big old long thing, and he don't care. He doesn't,
He
he's
just
out
touch
there.
the balloons with his, right?
Yeah, just poke him.
Just get the barrel hot and pop, pop, pop.
yeah, and he's out there just having, just a good old boy out there having fun, and he doesn't care about going super fast. He's playing
fun.
cowboy.
He's playing cowboy.
Yeah, and I think that's the best part. I get to shoot guns, which I love. I get to ride horses, which is a passion of mine, and riding horses and shooting guns. That's
at the same time. That's crazy.
It doesn't get any better.
Now, are
than
you
that.
doing any of the rifle stuff? Or are you just strictly?
So we have a rifle and shotgun division.
Oh, okay.
So I've done shotgun. I haven't done rifle, and I need to do a little more shotgun. So you shoot 5 pistol, and you holster, and then you come around. We call it the rundown barrel. So it's the barrel at the far end of the arena, and the rest of the balloon, the last 5 balloons are set up in a straight line. Well, with shotgun, you only got 2 shots. Ooh. So they cluster the balloons in a group of 3 and a group of 2.
Gotcha.
So you come around that rundown barrel, you've got your shotgun pulled out, and you got it up in your shoulder, and you drop your reins, and you goes 2 shots.
So you let go of the horse. Yeah. Oh, is that scary?
There's a little bit of trust there. And anybody who says it isn't scary is lying, because there was always that little, they can do it over and over and over, and it might not be as scary as it used to be, but, and those horses sometimes will veer off, and you gotta, sometimes it'll cause you to miss, but they do the same thing with rifle, and they're doing a lever action.
So you got to get them used to the gun shooting too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and some horses just won't have it.
Yeah.
They just don't have it, and that's fine, and some horses don't care. I've had a horse that came in and we were shooting full loads off him in 30 minutes.
So the best horse to get would be a deaf horse.
Right. Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And sometimes the horses are more scared of the smoke than it's like that vicious horse-eating smoke that's coming out of that that's going to eat them. Yeah. So you shoot and then they're all like, snorting and they're trying to run through it. But yeah, they wear earplugs. I've got earplugs for my horses.
Okay, I was going to ask you.
Yeah. And all my earplugs match my shirts. And,
of course, they're blingy.
Yeah, they're not blingy, but they match my outfits. Not that anybody ever sees the earplugs, but I know. And so that's just.
Those got to be some big earplugs.
They're just
for
little.
A horse.
They're about that big around. They're little puff balls, and they've got a little string that attaches them. You just twist them around the top of the horse's bridle, and then
what you should do?
Your ears.
You should have Bluetooth.
Oh.
Earbuds for them and play a nice little music for them while they're riding, and they can enjoy the music. And, maybe a little faster tempo gets them,
get them going,
juiced up. Or
the horses get pumped up just like we do. They get that nerve. Yeah, so horses are really sensitive. Yeah, they can feel it.
They know when something's coming up. Like, we're getting ready to go to competition. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, my red horse.
Come on, rider, get on me. Let's go.
Yeah, I can feel her getting excited. And I try to. It's all things being fair and equal. It's a mental game. So I try to keep pretty calm. But they know.
They can sense.
Oh yeah.
Like a dog, they can sense.
Yeah, they can feel flies land on their back. So of course they feel everything that you're feeling. It just transfers down into them, and they know. And but they get all jazzed up. And when we get to shoot in front of a crowd, which isn't very often, that's my favorite time to shoot, because the music's playing. And sometimes we get to do that in between.
Hype.
Oh man, there are crowds there, and you got a couple thousand people watching. You're like, oh man, and, that it's.
Hope I don't drop my gun.
Yeah, oh god, don't mess up. focus. It's only like
Now,
15
have you ever
seconds.
fallen off the horse during a competition?
I have. It's happened a couple times. Actually, that yellow horse 2 years ago, I bailed off of her because she was just.
She wasn't acting right?
She was not acting right. Rearing up, spinning around, going backwards, doing all this stuff. And I'm
dang.
like, I'm too old. I'm out. I'm out. I'm not 18 anymore. I got, I'm out. So, and, it gives you 60 seconds on the course. But, I got back on, finished the course. And at that point, it's just about schooling that horse and making sure they're doing.
That's when you wanted to sell her, wasn't it?
Yeah, I
was the
literally
day.
made like 3 or 4 phone calls trying to figure out where I could send her, who I could trade for what. And I was so mad because she'd been doing so great at home, and and I was like, all right, I'll give her 30 more days.
She just had a little performance anxiety.
She did. She did. But and I've come off a couple other times. Just I was still going this to the right, and my mare was going to the left, and there I was in the middle. So.
Just somehow.
On the ground.
You're like, how'd I end up here?
Yeah, I'm like, oh, there she is. All right.
Whoops.
Oh, over there at the other end of the arena.
Have you been injured?
I have. I tore my rotator cuff a couple years ago.
Fallen off?
No, I was running barrels. I was just holding on. My horse is just so powerful.
Yeah.
I was just holding on to the horn, coming around a barrel, and I tore my rotator cuff. Just put me out for a whole season, surgery, the whole deal.
I was gonna say, I mean, with this sport, there's probably a lot of injuries that happen because people are falling off the horses, and
there can be,
like you said, the rotator cuff.
Yeah,
you're probably getting a lot of sprains and tears and things.
People's shoulders, and as people get older, my yellow horse fell on me.
Lower back.
My yellow horse slipped and fell on me and broke my toes.
Oh crap!
Yeah, that was painful. My big toe and my second toe.
Horses weigh a lot.
A little bit, yeah. So, people can ride horses. We got a guy shooting and he's in his 80s.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
He's still riding and shooting in his 80s.
He's still riding and shooting in his 80s.
That's amazing.
It's incredible, and his horse is just dynamite. Takes great care of him. Just out there, just doing its thing. It never takes a false step, and he's just enjoying it. I mean, enjoy it as long as you can.
Has he been doing it for like ever?
Yeah.
Or did he just get into it like 5 years ago? No,
he's been doing it. He's riding horses all his life, So it's fun to watch him go out there, and he doesn't care about winning.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Is there an age limit on how old you got to be to get into it and start doing it?
No, we have a kids division, so the Wranglers. So
nice.
The little guys, they'll be led around the course. They don't get any guns. Some of them will have little cap guns, and they'll click and point. But then the older kids, I think I have to double check. I think it's 10 to 12. I don't have any kids, so I'm not sure of all the actual rules. But
right.
They have to engage. They run through the course just like the adults, and they have to engage every target. So they're not shooting at it, but they have to dry fire at it.
Right.
And so we have range masters that'll dictate whether they ran the course correctly and engaged every target.
Gotcha.
And some of those kids are running faster than the adults, and I think it's because they have no fear. They don't have a mortgage to pay. They don't have to worry about getting hurt.
They're still naive.
They're still naive, and they're just running and gunning. And then they turn 12, and we give them live ammo, and they're just.
Oh yeah, they're like, finally.
You're like, get your 4 wins and get out of my class. Like, we are done with you.
Move on up. Kid.
All the adults are like, that kid's 13 years old and whooping my hiney. Get her out of here. Everybody when they move up, you have to do a move up dance when you get your 4th win.
Oh, and then what is that?
You got to just do a little dance, or they ain't gonna give you that buckle.
Oh yeah.
So you got to dance, and it's always embarrassing.
Work for it.
You do. You got to work for it, and then everybody's like, yeah, get out of here.
Now is it like?
Get out of here.
Is it like you just make up your own dance, or is there like a traditional dance that you have to do?
No, everybody does their own. Some are better than others. My friend Tiffany had her move up at the World Championship several years ago, and she did a little side kick, jumped up in the air, and slipped and fell underneath the award table.
Oops.
That was the best dance I've ever seen.
Did you get that on video?
Oh yeah, it's all over Facebook.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Now you mentioned earlier, you said something about clients. Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I do some new shooter clinics.
Okay.
Just getting people into the sport. I've helped mentor some people as they're getting started. I don't take on a ton of people because I have a regular full-time job too. But so just helping people get started, doing clinics. I do a lot of videos of new shooters, just how they're getting into the sport and helping people get going. So
right.
yeah,
cool.
It's fun to get them going.
Yeah.
And see them succeed and just flourish and do their thing.
Now, what rifle did you say? What rifle you shoot?
I don't shoot rifles.
You don't do that? What
no.
about your shotgun? What shotgun are you using?
I've just got a little side-by-side 12 gauge, just Winchester. It's Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Because you only get 2 shots. So
Yeah, a little shorty. So.
Yeah. Does anybody use the over-unders for that, or everybody using the side-by-side?
Everybody's using side-by-side. Yeah, so we do.
Because you have to do that, or could you use the...
Yeah, they. You want the side-by-side, and then we're still using the same ammo that we use in the pistols, so you get inserts. And mine are pink and laser engraved with the breast cancer awareness ribbon on, the whole deal. So yeah, so you got the pink, the inserts, and then you put the
I mean, you just can't get those anywhere. Who's supplying you with the...
I got those...
The shells.
I got those inserts. I think I got them from Lonesome Pine.
Okay.
They supply black powder blanks. There's several companies that do that. So
gotcha. I mean, that's getting really specific because nobody's going to be seeing your ammo.
No. Well, and I bought them because all the proceeds from those particular inserts go towards breast cancer research.
Yeah,
so
well, good for you.
So
that's awesome.
I purchased those. My grandmother had breast cancer, so we like to support the cause. And the
absolutely.
Western industry is pretty big in the Tough Enough to Wear pink. That's real big in the rodeos, and we'll do that at shoots.
Twisted X has a program that's doing that. The official footwear of Talking Lead. By the way.
Oh, nice.
Check out my shit kickers. I got.
Ooh, I like those.
From Twisted X.
Ooh, pretty.
Right?
I like them.
Yeah, I'm digging them.
I'm digging them.
Super comfortable. Been wearing them all week.
Yeah. No, they're a great company.
Yeah. So you're familiar with Twisted X?
I am familiar, yeah.
Out of Texas?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe we need to introduce you.
That would be great. I'd love an introduction.
We'll do that. I'll text him when we get off. Remind me. I'll have him come over.
Absolutely. Yeah. So we.
Speaking of, I'm looking at your boots right now. Huh?
Yeah, these are from Miss Macy.
Miss Macy.
These are not shit kickers, but they're.
Those are fancy.
These are fancy.
Those are
I brought my
fancy
fancy
shoes.
Boots down to Vegas. I got these in my old gringos that I wore yesterday, which might have been a mistake, but that's okay. It all worked out.
That's Bill. Bill Doe Teabaggins, we call him.
Hi, Bill.
How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Very well.
Good.
Just dropping off a charger.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Interrupted my show. Way to go.
You interrupted it, not me.
Whatever.
You do your thing.
You do your thing.
You do my thing.
We have fun on this show.
I like it.
We like to have
I like
fun.
your show.
Well, thank you.
This is
I
great.
appreciate it. I mean, I don't have any more questions. I think I'm in overload on mounted
I know it's a
shooting
lot
right
of
now.
information.
It is a lot.
It's a lot of stuff, and
It's a lot, but it's very interesting.
Well, thanks.
So you've got me intrigued. So I'm gonna get online. I'm gonna check it out.
Go check out my website. I've got a whole series on there for new shooters. I did a big series of videos. Yeah, so the new shooter series, I filmed those a couple years ago, and it breaks it down into all the elements, and it's. Like I said earlier, it's a tough sport to get into, and I struggled so much, and I just, I looked up to all these people in the sport and these incredible people, and I got turned away a lot, and I got told no for help a lot by some pretty predominant people, and I just was like, I can't. I didn't want to be that way. I wanted to help, and I wanted to get people started, and it's something that I'm passionate about, and that. That the bigger I can make it. I mean, I want to see it at the NFR. That would just make my heart happy. And so if I can get more people started and help them get going along the way.
Build that interest, that enthusiasm.
Absolutely. I don't charge anything for videos. All that information is available for free. If anybody has any questions, they can get a hold of me through my social media. I'm happy to answer questions, and if I don't have the answer, I
give
can
that social media where they can get in touch with you one more time.
I'm the Mounted Shooter on Instagram. You can go to mountedshooter.com and the Mounted Shooter on YouTube. So everything's all linked together. And it's anything
Courtney
you want.
Johnson. So you guys PM her there. She'll get you more info if you're interested in getting involved with the sport.
Yeah,
it's very cool. Courtney, thank you so much for taking the time to be on.
Oh, thank you so much for having me.
I've learned a lot.
Good.
So we'll have to have you back on.
Anytime.
So when does the season start?
It's already started for people down south, so I will start shooting in May.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll start keeping up with you.
Let
us know. Check in with us. Let us know how you're doing. Give
do.
us an update. We'll get you on the show and you talk about your bling bling belts that your belt buckles that you're winning and all that money.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Now, one more question. Do you do there's like this cowboy action shooting that's out there, like
SAS
3-gun for for the Western style guns. Do you do any of that?
I have in the past.
Okay.
I haven't recently, but I mean, I've got all the gear to do the Western 3-gun SAS stuff. I'm the Chatteroy Rose. That's my handle.
I was going to say, because you got to have a name.
Yeah.
It's like a requirement, so you got to have like a cowboy name. And
Yeah.
what is it again?
The Chatteroy Rose.
Chatteroy Rose.
Chatteroy is a little town just north of where I'm from. It's bumped right next to little Colbert, Washington. So Chatteroy and Colbert are right next to each other. So Chatteroy Rose.
I like that.
I haven't shot SAS for a long time though, but I like it. It's super fun.
Yeah, I was going to say, if somebody who's doing this would probably also enjoy doing.
SAS has
SAS.
a little bit of a mounted shooting thing. They'll do a little bit a ground and a mounted thing at winter range, but it's a much smaller. I'm not really even sure how much they're still doing that. I'd have to look into that, but they're not very predominant. They don't have a lot of shoots going on, so yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Courtney, again, thank you so much for taking the time. We're going to be
appreciate
back
it.
with more the 2020 SHOT Show here in the final day from the official lead quarters of Buck Knives. Yeah.
The ladies of Buck.
This is all by Chris's design. Yeah, and he's leaving. So he threw this together and he just walks out.
Yeah, he's scared.
Typical Chris. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So we are at the 2020 SHOT Show, and we are at the lead quarters live here at Buck Knives, and I'm surrounded by just the most beautiful women that are at SHOT Show. What do you call yourselves? Are you the Buck Knife babes? The beautiful ladies of Buck. I love that.
We prefer it, yes.
The BLBs, beautiful ladies of Buck. That is awesome. So you got to get a shirt made like that.
Yes.
So you are the ones that are keeping everything going, flowing here at SHOT Show at the booth. You guys have been just jam slammed. It's been nonstop this is what, our third day.
Third day.
Got another day coming up. So I want to start on the left, and we're going to go from left to right here and introduce yourselves and tell everybody what you do for Buck at Buck.
I'm Emily Lang.
No, bring it up here.
Oh, sorry.
Bring it up here.
Okay, I'm
There you
Emily
go.
Lang, and I am the supply chain manager at Buck Knives. I do a lot of our purchasing.
Okay, Emily.
I'm Stephanie Young, the Marketing Communications Manager at Buck. So I just try to keep PR, advertising, social media, everything running, including this booth with Toddy.
There you go. Thank you, Stephanie.
I'm Andrea Modine, and I work in our inside sales department, and I handle pretty much Western Canada and the Western United States.
You're
and
handling the
international.
Canucks. They're a handful, aren't they?
Yes.
Handful of goodness, though, right? Yeah.
Right.
Thank you, Andrea. The Canadians? Do you know that they even had their own Canadian party last night? Nothing. If you weren't Canadian, you weren't invited to their party. You know, that's a little too exclusive, I think. Yeah. Right? Right?
My name is Tony Harvey, and I am the executive sales and marketing administrator. And so I basically plan trade shows.
Yeah.
Big part of it.
And you attend 80s band concerts.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I think your mic might be is it the mic on? Make sure the little thing's pushed up on the back of the top of the back of the mic. Yep. Push that up. Now we can hear you.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you weren't on there. Sorry about that.
That's all right.
But say again, Toddy.
Toddy Harvey. I'm the executive sales and marketing administrator, and I'm a planner. I plan trade shows.
Very cool. Next.
I am Rachel Rogers. I'm the marketing coordinator, and I deal a lot with the media and writers for Buck.
Very cool. Welcome in, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So what has been your favorite part of the show? Well, let's start off with Emily. Tell us how many SHOT shows you've been to.
This is my fifth SHOT show.
Closer.
This is my fifth SHOT show.
Fifth SHOT show.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So in those 5 SHOT shows, what would you say has been your favorite so far? What's the most memorable?
Let's be honest. It's when you can drink because you're not pregnant.
This is true. I've been pregnant for 2 SHOT shows, so I'm happy to partake in the free beer.
There you go. Which is going on right now, which we're missing as we're doing this. I think Brooksy did that by design too.
Oh,
I
right.
know.
Got us out of the
We
beer.
cleared those kegs off pretty quick. he roped us all in here.
What about you, Stephanie? How many have you been to?
I believe I've been to 11 SHOT shows.
11?
I think so.
You missed last year because you were with Babe.
I was on maternity leave.
Yeah.
But I could drink by that point just at home. Yeah.
And of those
Emily
11,
Lang was the one who couldn't.
So 11 years, you've been able to see SHOT Show morph and change probably quite a bit in those 11 years.
Yes, quite a bit.
Yeah. So in the early days, how would you compare it to what's going on these days?
So from the marketing standpoint, the early days, it was all about TV sponsorships, TV advertising.
And magazines.
Magazines. Right. So the celebrities from the outdoor world would, try to visit you, try to gain sponsorship. And now, of course, it's all about content creation and social media and online presence. So
what was easier to deal with, would you say? Would it be the olden days with the TV, the magazines, or the new wave media, we'll call it?
I think the new wave media. To me,
a little easier to deal with?
It's a lot less intense, the people coming in, trying to sell to you. And the strategies, they have to have a really sound strategy now to get your attention.
I gotcha. What about you, Andrea?
This is my very first SHOT Show.
Oh, so we got a newbie.
Yes.
Fresh meat. So is it everything that they built it up to be and more, or did they just scare you to death, or were they just like throwing you to the wolves?
I'm having a blast.
Okay, cool.
So I do a lot with our internationals, and I get to actually meet them instead of just by email or.
So you get put the personality of email to an actual person in voice.
Yes.
Huh? Yeah.
It's great. I'm having a blast.
So let me ask you this. Of the people that you've met, that you've been dealing with, doing business with, who's the most unlike what you expected?
You can't tell a lot through
and you don't have to say a
email.
name or anything like that.
You can't tell a lot through email. So I don't talk to them on the phone, so everybody is new.
Yeah.
It's like meeting them for the first time.
Okay. So but you didn't have like an expectation of, I expect, Sam to look like this, or Julia to look like this, or be like this. Because you kind of get a personality from an email too, You kind of build a picture of what that person looks like.
I think everybody was normal.
Okay. Good, safe answer. Toddy.
This is I think it's my 8th SHOT Show.
Okay, so you're up there too.
Yep.
Veteran.
Yep. Been here a few times.
Yeah. So what would you say over the years has been the biggest change or difference in SHOT Show?
I think how digitized we are now. It used to be the first SHOT Show that I came to, there was just so much paper and so much paperwork, and it was just a lot. And now anybody asks for anything, we're like, it's online.
Right. Go. It's immediate.
Yeah. We have everything.
Grab a phone. I can fix that right here.
Right.
Sign
exactly.
you up right here.
Exactly.
Check this box, kind of thing.
And now we have our Wi-Fi and everything set up, and the reps are submitting orders directly into the portal. And it used to be we were actually taking home like physical paper copies and hoping that they made it.
Right. Hoping they made it back on the plane with you.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
And during the beer garden, you didn't get beer spilled all over them.
Well, before Brooks, we didn't have beer garden.
Really?
Yes.
So I guess last year they had it.
That was the first time.
That was okay.
Yeah, that was the first time.
So you did that in honor of me because you knew you're gonna have a big.
I mean, it was
big alcoholic in the booth.
It was discussed.
Just goes keep it this far away from him. Only give him one.
Right.
Monitor Lefty. So, what was your name again?
Rachel.
Rachel. Okay, Rachel. How many have you been to?
This is my second SHOT Show.
Okay, so last year and this year. So compared to the 2 years.
No, there's been about 5 years in between.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So how long ago was your first one? 5 years ago?
Do you remember that, Stephanie? What year it was?
Oh, was it the 110 anniversary year? Was that 14? Was it that year?
So you've got a little time to actually, it was
wow.
like this when I came, and then now it's like this. Is there a big change from the first time to this time?
No, I think it's about the same.
It's about the same?
A lot of people coming in and getting to meet people. It's nice.
Yeah. So what's your favorite thing about SHOT Show?
I would say placing faces to the names.
Okay.
But again, there's so many people coming in and out, so it's kind of hard. I'm doing it right away, and then I'm forgetting who they are. 20
so you're not
minutes
doing
later after I
selfies
meet.
with them, it's posting it up on your Instagrams.
Next year.
Okay, there you go. That's one way to do it. Yeah. So what would you say as far as buck knives go is your big big release this year? What's everybody just talking about, wanting to have? Who wants to take that?
Well, as
Stephanie?
far as what we've actually launched at the show, the Talon, everyone who walks
big
by
Talon.
that thing has to hold it, pick it up. Industry Day on the Range, they were like crazy when they saw it.
So tell our listeners, describe the Talon for them.
So the Talon is this military grade, I would say, bushwhacking survival tool. It could chop trees, it could baton wood, you can lash it to a spear, you could use it as a hammer. I mean, it is hardcore. How much do you think that thing weighs? I don't have.
That's like 3 pounds.
3 pounds. I don't have it in front of me,
least,
but it's hardcore and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and the sheath that it comes with too is pretty heavy duty too. It's really nice.
Molly compatible, all the Velcro, different carry options.
It's definitely got that wow factor when you look at it. That Talon, it catches your eye, but then when you get your hand on it, and like you said, all the utility, all the versatility of that tool it's really nice. And plus that blade is super sharp.
Right.
And you can whack down a 4-inch tree pretty easy with that, no problem.
I think probably even a giant sequoia.
You can do what now?
Probably even a giant sequoia tree if that was legal.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying, like, with one chop you could take down 4 inches, no problem.
Oh, for sure, yes, no problem.
Yep.
And I spoke with our military reps, and they really liked the tactical line. They really liked the tactical line, and they were just really impressed with the Talon. And those guys are dealing in that arena all the time.
What would you say? You look like you wanted to comment on that.
I just thought Tottie's voice sounded beautiful.
Well, she did put lip gloss on before this.
I did. They're like, you're not going to be on camera.
So I want to know hidden talents here. So who can sing?
Oh, not me.
Nope.
No.
It came to my attention yesterday that I could be a hype man.
I thought you were telling me that you did karaoke.
Oh no, not me.
Not you? I thought you were like hitting a karaoke bar after the '80s party or concert you went to when I was up there.
No, I wasn't hitting anything after that concert.
No, you were just done.
I just went straight home after that.
What about hunting? Who hunts here? Tottie's a hunter?
Okay. I hunt.
What's your favorite thing to hunt? Deer. We talked about this a little bit when I was up there.
White-tailed deer where I live because it's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I would really like to harvest a bull elk. That's my next goal.
Now, are you a rifle girl or are you archery?
Both.
Do a little bit of both.
I do both, but I'm interested. I want to get an elk with a rifle. Because last time I was elk hunting, archery, it's just so difficult. You have to get so close.
You do.
You really do.
Everything has to be just perfect.
Yeah,
just
everything
right.
just has to line up. And I want now I want to harvest a bull elk, and so I'm just gonna quit messing around with archery and harvest
You're
one,
just
and
gonna
then
do it.
Yeah, and I like archery. I'll shoot either, no matter what. But I'm not sure that archery hunting is gonna be.
I got you.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking to go on my first bow hunt.
Oh, fun!
I've shot bows before, but I've never hunted. I've never, got into the archery aspect of the hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So this is going to be my first year coming up using a bow. So what tips would you give me as a just getting into it kind of?
Practice. You should be shooting every day.
Okay.
Just to make sure that you're really, that everything's lined out, and to keep. Do everything the same every time and get it into such a routine that when something's in front of you and you get all nervous and buck fever, you can still do everything that you can still do everything that you need to do. Yes.
Very
Practice,
good. Okay.
practice.
So I will call you when I start getting into which bows I'm going to buy and arrows, and you can give me some tips on that.
Fantastic. I would love to talk bows with you.
Okay. We'll talk bows.
Okay.
Me and Toddy will talk bows. So I know you girls have appointments that you got to get to. So I'm going to do one last little round robin here for you, and you want to start that way and work. Okay. So if you could spend the day, and this is like you can like when I say what I'm going to say, you could like put it at the movies or at the shopping mall or just spend the day. So if you could spend the day at the range with anyone or any group of people, who would it be and why? could be one person. It could be many people. It could be a fictional person. It could be a dead person.
At the range.
I'm gonna need someone.
No, well, I was saying you could superimpose range with a day shopping or a day fishing or a day drinking margaritas or going to 80s concerts with. Who would you like to spend some time with? Maybe for their knowledge, maybe just for their companionship. Ready, go.
I have to think about that one.
Nope, you can't think about it. It's a kind of question. Who's the first person who came to mind?
It can be a celebrity.
When I said who came to mind?
Ellen DeGeneres.
Okay, there you go. So you like to spend some time with Ellen DeGeneres. Why?
Oh, because she makes me laugh. She
Okay.
would be
'Cause
such
she's
a fun
funny?
friend. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So you think you guys could hang out and have a good time together?
absolutely, yeah.
Very cool. All right. Toddy.
The first person that came to mind was Maynard James Keenan.
Who?
He's the lead singer of Tool. I flew down early and caught a Tool concert on Friday night, and he's like my favorite band of all time. So,
Very cool.
Yeah, so him.
So to give you singing lessons?
No,
or
I
you
would just
think
like
it'd be cool to drink a beer with.
Yeah, I think I would just like to talk to him. I just think it would just be interesting just to get his thoughts on some things, on some lyrics.
Interesting. Okay. How about you, Andrew?
I'd have to say it'd be my son. He loves knives. He loves everything. He's 15, and anything I can get him to do with me is great. Because otherwise,
So whatever he's interested in, just to spend some time with you, you would do that.
yes.
That's a good mom right there.
I agree, and she's being honest too.
I think you were too.
No, I was, but
lead singer too.
But I mean, sometimes we have to pretend like we like our children. He's young enough. He's young enough that she still does.
Yeah, it's hard work.
That's funny.
Give it
Stephanie.
a few years.
I mean, besides Chris Brooks.
Oh my God, that was a brown nose answer.
Yeah, totally. No, my first thought was camping, and then it made me think of my father-in-law who's passed, and that guy was hilarious. I mean, he would say anything to anybody, anytime. So his one-liners, I mean, I'd love to hear some of those again.
That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. Where would you go camping with him?
Well, our family spot is on the North Fork of the Clearwater River in Idaho, and that's where they like to fly fish, and it's a very, very beautiful place.
Did you guys used to do that when he was alive? Go there
Yes,
together?
and we still do it with
Okay,
my
so you carry
husband's
on the
sisters
tradition.
and now
That's
our
awesome.
kids. Yeah, it's carried on. So
Very cool.
we actually spread his ashes out there.
All right, we saved the best for last.
You know,
The pressure's on. Come on, Emily.
I wouldn't change anything. I'd hang out with these lovely ladies right here if I had the chance.
Man, what a
I get
great
to every day
answer.
at work, so I can't think of anybody else I'd rather hang out with.
That is a great answer. And where would you hang out with a lady? What's the ideal?
I would just say
scenery?
on a beach somewhere right now. Mm-hmm. It's in North Idaho. It's pretty snowy, so I think anybody would agree we'd rather be on a beach
Very good.
with a drink in our hand.
Agreed.
Very good. I appreciate you taking the time, being on, putting up with me and my crew, through this SHOT Show. Thank you guys so much. You have been very great in keeping us supplied with everything that we need, and we're trying not to be prima donnas, but with a guy wearing a shirt like this, what do you expect? Right?
I have thoroughly enjoyed your fashion choices this week, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow's.
But Buck Knives is a very close-knit company. It's family. Whether you're family or not, it's a family business. And you girls are the epitome of that and represent them well. So when you're buying a Buck Knives, you're not only just getting the quality of the product, you're getting the quality of the people behind the knives too. So thank you, ladies, for everything that you do at Buck Knives as well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to be back with more from the 2020 SHOT Show here at the official lead quarters, talking lead. Buck Knives.
Told.
I love it. No.
Yeah, so we're rolling. So if you don't want something recorded, don't talk.
Don't
right now.
talk. This is where I was getting ready to say was I live with my parents right now. You guys are talking about being loud, and my dad is so deaf, and the TV is so loud at night that I literally watch television with orange foamy earplugs on.
Oh my gosh.
It's a fact.
Okay.
A fact.
Okay.
And if you're wondering why I live with my parents, is because I'm turning 40 this year. So I figured I may as well just move home.
Start over?
And start over with life.
Clean slate.
I'm 40 and I live with my parents, just so you can say
That's
that.
right. Yeah, well, they kind of have a movie about it. So failure to launch or something
Reevaluate
like that.
your morals and your goals.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
All right, I'm going to do a live also.
Oh, you are.
Yeah,
You're
we're gonna
getting
do
serious.
We're going to do a live.
Okay.
Are you doing? Is that a live or is that just a video?
It's just video. I'll share that with you though.
Come closer to the mic.
There. He's going to do a live.
I'll share
too.
that.
Talk.
We did this
Shh,
last
quiet.
time.
Hey,
I think.
It's
is it
live
time
right
for
now.
us to wrap, Morgan? Ready?
Can you hear me?
Here we go.
Here we go.
Was it like a bad turkey call?
I can do that.
All right, lead heads. It's that time of SHOT Show that you've all been waiting for. We're at the 2020 SHOT Show, coming at you from the lead quarters here at Buck Knives booth.
Yeah.
And it's time for the ladies.
Oh, what do we
This
call
is
it?
ladies' night.
Y'all were supposed to come up
and
with
I
a.
feel alright.
This is ladies' night.
Oh, what a night.
Oh, what a night.
Here, we're back. We brought somebody.
And you
this
brought a new one.
Yeah,
We've got an
I was
added
in hiding
lady.
last year.
You were. I think you were sick, weren't
I
you?
was pregnant.
That
Same
well,
difference.
Sick,
Yeah,
pregnant.
no, I like waddled through SHOT Show at 8 months pregnant. I was like, I am not being on anything. I wasn't fun.
Well, we're gonna have fun now
Yes, let's do
because the
it.
ladies are in the house.
That's right.
You guys
So
have us for
we've-
like 10 minutes.
All right, we're gonna zip through this real quick, but we want to highlight our newbie.
Yes.
So we'll leave it up to you, Norissa, to introduce your buddy.
Okay, you guys heard me last year. I'm Norissa Harmon. I'm one of the co-founder, creative directors of Girls with Guns, and I'm going to introduce my business partner and sister-in-law.
My name's Jen O'Hara, and CEO and co-founder of Girls with Guns Clothing.
Welcome,
And
Jen.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
I heard and watched last year. I was super jealous that I wasn't able to join, but I love these girls, and we are a tribe, and it's really awesome to be able to focus on what we are all doing. And it's usually pretty crazy when we get together, so I can't wait. It's going to be recorded.
Look out now, look out. So from my left to my other left, we're going to start with Kristy Titus joining us.
Hi.
She's part of the Girl Talk.
She's the one
the
that lives at
Talking Lead
home.
Girl Talk.
She's living at home.
I'm the one living at home with my parents.
We don't judge here.
Clearly, my career is rather successful. I'm writing a book about it, actually. What not to do as an adult. But seriously, I host a digital TV show called Pursue the Wild, and I'm on the National Rifle Association Board of Directors. Pretty awesome to be part of
That is
fighting
awesome.
for the Second Amendment.
Hell yeah.
And I live with my parents, but it's temporary, okay? Just don't judge me.
I mean, we don't have to bring that up every other topic. That's okay.
Or we can.
Or
It's
we
funny.
can.
It's funny.
If it helps
It's
you
funny.
get over it and deal with it, we'll do that. We're here for you. Did anybody bring the ice cream?
No.
Ooh, I want ice
Or the
cream.
White Claws?
I forgot the white claw.
Mochi?
Dadgummit.
Anybody have
Last time-
mochi?
What's that?
It's the ice cream with like that rice
That sounds
gel
inside.
thing around it, and it's so
What is that?
good. It's called mochi. Oh.
Mochi.
Go to a sushi place, get mochi.
I love sushi.
Mm-hmm.
Why have we not had that, Morgan?
Because
We eat
when
sushi all the time.
When we eat sushi together, it's normally unlimited sushi, and we eat
We don't get to
5
dessert.
plates of it, and we don't get to dessert.
That's
No.
right. That's right.
No.
So, and then to my next left, we've got the beautiful, the talented Morgan Mills.
You shouldn't have. Thank you.
And my best friend's girlfriend.
My best friend's girlfriend.
friend's
Is
girlfriend.
that a
Shout out.
country song?
That does sound like a country
I like it.
song.
Andrew always gets a shout out. We'll have some Andrew stories. I'm the energetic, positive one, and he's the grumpy old man.
He's the grumpy old fart.
Gotta
Tell the
drop that
Disney
on the
World
mic.
story real quick.
Tell the what?
The Disney World story real quick.
Oh, this is my 8th SHOT Show, and I thought it would be a brilliant idea to go to Disney World 2 days before SHOT Show. So I was walking 11 miles a day.
Oh my
before I came
gosh.
here. So my feet are trashed. But yeah, Andrew was like, are you going to make me go to Disney World? And I'm like, you, as paranoid as you are, head on a swivel all the time. Something's always going to happen. Always be prepared. Lives like that, right? I'm like, I'm not putting you in these crowds. I'm not making you wait in line. You'll be the unhappiest person on earth in the happiest place on the planet. I'm not doing it. He's the grumpy old man. So I didn't take him, and afterwards I was glad. I didn't take him.
You had a much better time without him.
I did, in fact.
Yeah, I've been told that too.
Let's not tell him that.
Tia has a better time without me. So.
I think
she went to Australia without me.
Dang.
She went to Australia without you?
Yeah, of
Are you
course.
scared about that? Aussie guys are hot.
Well, and all those firemen that are there right now.
That's a fact,
You
actually.
know?
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot of firemen there right now.
They're on fire. They're on fire. So girls.
Yes.
Girls with Guns.
Yes.
They have a show.
Yes.
Talk about what you guys got coming up.
Gosh, we have a lot going on right now. Oops, you guys can't hear me. Sorry.
Yeah, get to that mic.
I know. We should actually, Jen. We didn't really. I didn't get a chance to really. I think when we joined you for the podcast, I was exhausted. I was not making sense. My feet.
Well,
were
and you had a couple
swollen.
of White Claws.
I had a couple White Claws. So we didn't get a chance to really talk about all of our products, and we'll let you do that.
You want me to do that?
Let's talk products.
Let's
for
talk
the
about
ladies.
it.
Yes.
So Girls with Guns is a lifestyle company, and what we really want to promote and show our customer is that we do a little bit of everything. When Norissa and I started, we were hunters, we were snowboarders, we're fished, wakeboarders, hiking, and it's just an outdoor brand. And we started with like t-shirts and hoodies and hats. We were essentially a t-shirt company that has evolved, and now we are actually a well-known women's outerwear company. So we have 5 hunting collections. We have an early season, a mid-season, and a late season gear, our insulated collection, as well as rain gear, lightweight clothing, and gosh, I'm just going upland.
All kinds of stuff.
So yeah, so we've done that, and those were a lot of the things that were launched just last year. And we have also brought in our new concealed casual, which is really awesome because, ladies look great in leggings, and you can wear them every day, and you are able to conceal your firearm. We have jackets and vests and pass-through hoodies, all kinds of things, and that's going to be what we're going to be growing next. So I feel like we're really there on the hunting side of our apparel, and what we're going to focus on is range wear and our concealed casual, and the brand wear has been there for a while. So we love it. We were doing a TV show when you were talking about not taking the men. We traveled to like 11 different countries without our men. So they feel left behind. So we're actually
How did you get pregnant?
Wouldn't you like to know, Marty?
I was going to say, we were in New Zealand that year. I did take my husband to New Zealand.
Okay, all right.
He wants the nitty-gritty.
Narissa's like, how dare you?
Well, she's married to my brother, right?
I do know that.
We keep it real.
You keep an eye on her. Yeah.
It really ruins the best friend thing when you can't really share anything anymore. She's like,
I'm sure y'all have your secrets.
Heavily filtered content.
Yeah, she doesn't want to hear. So, no, that was really bad. Sorry. But no, we are just really going to focus on some hunts, some women's empowerment videos, different things we're doing is doing like a backcountry elk hunt in BC. We're excited about that. Some local hunts. I hunted with my daughter this year. She was 6 months old, and she got to go and shot a mule deer, and she was a part of it, and turkey hunting.
Awesome.
So just trying to
That's
stay
great.
close to home so that
Making it a family
I can be
affair
a mommy.
now.
Yeah,
that's the new chapter of GWG is our little GWGs. So she can be hanging out with her auntie and her mama. We're gonna take her everywhere. Just strap her on the back and go.
So you're gonna revamp the show. You're gonna revive the show.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, we're doing more lifestyle content and still incorporating our hunts and all of that. It's just a new season for us, and we're really looking forward to incorporating just more of the things that we've been doing, and not just focusing always on the hunting. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
That's
Lifestyle.
gonna be good.
Yeah,
that'll be good. So, and where can our listeners go and catch you guys?
Yes, you guys can find us on all the social media channels. We're on, you can find us at gwgclothing.com. Also, GWG TV, Girls with Guns Clothing, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, also on Carbon TV. We stream over there. And YouTube, we're just really starting to focus on our YouTube channel. So Girls with Guns Clothing, GWG TV, and
They're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Find us. Come follow us. We'd love to have you.
Absolutely. So, are you just focused on women's clothing and women's apparel? I mean, can the guys get a little love too? Or?
I mean, if you want to wear the leggings.
I actually have a picture, no joke, because I have a girlfriend who is an outfitter in Kansas, and she loves our gear, and she was bragging about the length because we have adjustable inseams. And he's 6 foot, and he said he can never find men's pants that are long enough in hunting, and he wears our pants. I will find
my
that
gosh.
picture. Says he loves them. I'm like, okay, that works.
Whatever works for you, brother.
Yeah. So you could just say it could work.
Unisex. Well, very good. Yeah. I'm excited that you guys are revamping the show and getting it up and going again.
Yeah, we're excited too. Thank
Very
you for
cool.
always having us too. This is fun. We enjoy the girls' time.
I can't think of a time that we wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
And it's growing, obviously. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to get more microphones.
We
So I think you may have met this chick. She came by. She's from Canada.
Oh yeah.
Amanda
Lynn.
Mayhew.
Yes.
I do believe.
Yeah.
So maybe we can start getting international with our Talking Lead Ladies Talk.
There you go.
Wouldn't that be cool?
Yeah.
Take this show on the road.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just make them come here.
Let's do that. That's easier.
That's even better.
I would like to go to Canada though. Have you guys done any hunting in Canada?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Everyone.
Yeah,
I
and
haven't.
that's where we're heading to. Hey, backcountry elk hunt, come with us.
I'm not going to say no. Ever.
So are you all four going to get together on a hunt coming up? Have you talked
need
about
to.
this? You're
Well,
gonna
we
work it
all
out?
four are getting together this
That's
year.
right, we are.
Kristy, take over the reins on that.
Well, when I finally move out of my parents' house into my new house that I'm building, I'm having the girls come. We're going to do a 2-day really fun girls weekend. I built this like redneck fortress on some property I acquired.
Love that.
So
It's awesome.
I have like a shipping container that I converted into like a tactical shoot house, and I built my own gun range. So I have targets out to 680 yards, and then I have a full complete pistol bay, and so we're gonna have the girls come out. We're gonna couple shooting with conservation. We're gonna shoot some pistols, film some pistol stuff for Ruger, and then the next day we're gonna shoot some long range. And while we're at it, Ms. Morgan is going to come sing at the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation's Women for Wildlife event.
Oh, how
so
awesome
she's
is
going to burn
that?
down the house with her voice.
Oh, yeah.
Can I
Burn
back
down
up
the house
sing?
in a good way.
That's right. That's
Hey, no,
right,
I get to backup sing.
Well, can
She
we
is
both?
my backup singer.
It's true.
Didn't we do that at one of the NRA things? She's saying we all back up sang for her.
I'd always do wagon wheel. She flew out for my wedding and sang, and then she was always like, "Come on, Jenny, come on, just come sing." And I was like, "Oh, I can't sing, but I do try. It's fun."
That'll be a fun weekend, though. We're doing a girls' weekend. We have to have a name for that.
Yeah, we call it Titus Fun Week.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Titus Fun Week.
Titus Fun Week.
I'm all in.
I know Jen and Norissa, you guys have another appointment you got to get to. I'm sorry we have to cut this
We're
short.
going to the airport. So
Oh, y'all got to get on out of here.
Yeah.
You gotta get way out of here. Before you leave, let's all de-headphone and let's get some pictures real quick
Yes.
with all of us, and
Perfect.
then,
Okay.
then,
We'll
then
come
we'll
back.
sit back down and
Yeah.
resume this.
Good.
Bye, guys.
This awesomeness. You take it with that one.
Sorry.
So sorry.
No, that was good. You got a lot.
No, I'm
in
going to
there.
keep it going.
We're going.
I'm
We're
keeping
still.
this live thing
we're still-
going, so
we're still live.
this is awesome.
Live is good.
Live is good.
Sorry to cut you guys off. Get in the middle. Get a sandwich.
And then if you can use my phone too, if you don't mind. All right.
Hold on. Make sure her hand's not on
Boobs and my ribs.
One more. Good? Good.
I can tell he's married.
Yeah, he's like giant.
Someone's training him.
He listens.
Smart.
Thank you so much.
Love you, girls.
We're going to do it one more time.
I love you. Oh,
See that shirt on social media.
I'll see you in April.
In April.
Yes. Give me a hug.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Ah,
We'll see you at NRA.
yes.
Okay.
In Nashville.
Nashville. Okay.
Be safe, ladies.
Okay, we love you guys.
Love you.
Have a fun podcast. That's mine. I'll get that. Thanks, buddy. Oh, you're the best. Oh, isn't that? That's what happens. It's unzipped. It's unzipped. Bye, guys.
It's just us now.
Scary. When we're left to our own devices.
I know.
We're in the middle of one right now.
You guys are stuck live with just us now. Sorry about that.
Sorry about it. Sorry, not sorry.
We're like that house guest that stays like 2 hours too long after your dinner party and you just want to go to sleep.
So we're gonna sign off. We're gonna sign off live here. Give them your Instagrams, Facebooks.
I'm just at Kristy Titus.
I'm at Morgan Mills Music. Come follow us.
And you can find them. Just Google them. You'll find them everywhere. And you're going to listen to them here on the Talking Lead podcast.
Ayo.
Starting next week. All right, let's get serious.
It ended, but I had to start it.
It ended, but you had to start it.
I haven't done any SHOT Show coverage. Got my girl.
Hello.
Did it post?
Kristy.
This is the only time I'm behind a microphone that people don't complain because I'm not trying to sing.
Oh, whatever.
Ha!
Whatever.
Are you doing another live?
I'm just on Instagram. Say hey. Hey, boy, hey. In the Buck Knives booth.
The official lead quarters
The
of Talking Lead.
Talking Lead.
The official footwear of Talking Lead.
Yep.
Twisted X.
Okay. Twisted X. They're at
So
a couple.
comfy. They're so comfy. Would you hand me my headset?
I'm writing Twisted X.
Yeah, I know. You're like, I'm like, what is?
Thanks,
Are you sponsored by them now, or what's going on?
I'm not.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know a guy.
My sister would be so jealous if I got sponsored by Twisted X.
Why?
Because she lives in her Twisted X shoes.
Oh, they're so great.
I've heard about
You want me
them.
to introduce you?
I've heard it's like cocaine. Once you start, you don't stop.
Oh my gosh, they're so comfy. And they got Western boots too. I wore them the first 2 days, the Western boots.
Yeah.
And my feet are great.
Yeah.
They don't hurt at all.
No, I should be wearing them because apparently it's like my family is obsessed. My sister bought these ones. They're leopard, and I'm like, they're not my.
Who did?
It's not my style.
Chad?
But she's like, oh, I love these.
That's not your style.
No, but they're very popular.
But I would take any shoes right about now that aren't what I'm wearing.
Well, I just think that that brand has grown
Tell them to
so
come on
much,
by.
right? Like it's got to
Tell
be
them to come by now.
just incredible.
I haven't heard. I've never heard of that brand.
Twisted X?
Until this year. Like they're coming out like everywhere. I feel
Well,
like.
just think, like when Crocs came out, I was like, oh gosh, those are so ugly. I'm never gonna wear a Croc. And now I'm like, I don't go anywhere without
Without your
Crocs.
Crocs.
Totally.
So we're gonna get Brandon over here,
We'll get back on it.
and we'll introduce you to him. We'll see if we can't
Perfect.
make that happen.
Cool.
Heck yeah! All right, so what were we in the middle of talking about? The
Titus.
We are
the
getting
the Titus
weekend, a fun
weekend.
weekend, but we can move on from that. I think. We're not
Okay. We can-
so that's where we left off, though.
So, Kristy, moving in with your parents.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, you've had some big life changes.
Mm-hmm. It's a 2-year process.
Okay.
Yeah.
She bought a mountain.
I did. I bought a mountain.
Do explain. Go into details.
I bought a mountain and I turned it into a gun fortress, and my neighbors really love me. And I sold my house because there's some sort of like adulting component that needs to happen there where I like build a new one and have to like kind of afford it. So I moved in with my parents anyway. I'm gonna be moving out soon. Moving out soon.
So you're
It's good.
building a new hacienda.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty excited. I'm trying to create a space where I can serve some of my corporate partners and also create valuable content for deliverables. So my house is going to be set up to where I can like have the girls come out and host them.
Yeah.
Small events. And
So the guys can't come,
Well, I mean, yeah, the guys.
Okay.
It can be co-ed,
but not during Titus week.
No.
Not that week
Yeah,
for
yeah.
sure. But the main part is like I want to have brand partners come out, shoot new optics. For example, like if Night Force has a bunch of new scopes, bring those out. Bring out a bunch of new Ruger rifles. Shoot a bunch of Hornady ammo. Film it.
Yeah.
So I've got a pistol bay with Texas stars, dueling trees. I've got a lot in steel, and then I've got the long range rifle course.
So you did buy a whole mountain.
I literally
Yeah,
bought a mountain.
she did. You can shoot out to I think 600 yards, right?
680, and then we can shoot rocks on BLM. I don't have steel set on BLM just because I think it I don't like to put stuff on BLM and just like leave it. So and you have to hike to the top of my mountain, which I'm not.
Well, I would hope so. It wouldn't be a mountain if you didn't have to hike.
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it's.
Now, are you putting your house on the top of the mountain?
No, it's just below it. So it's pretty cool. I have elk and deer, and I have a weird assortment of wildlife that comes in. There's elk, deer. I have a mountain lion that's eating all my animals, and the other day I had a female hen peacock, and I don't know where stuff. It's like.
So you're just discovering new wildlife left and right.
I mean, I'm telling, and I found arrowheads out there. Like this place has been like untouched. I found 2 arrowheads on my place, and so it's just a.
It may be like an old Indian thing, so you should do some.
Yeah.
But
I think that they used to hunt there because it's a wintering area, for wildlife. So
what part of the country is this in? You don't have to be specific. So you're
Central
in
Oregon. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's been fun. That's my big life change. I think this year is.
That's big.
It's pretty big.
That's huge.
I'm excited about it. But it's been 2 years in process. So.
Yeah. But it's going to be a multifunctional.
Yeah,
piece of property.
So I was doing photos one day, and I was on public land, and I had an elk rack on my back, and I was like hiking, and my camera guy's taking these pictures, and these people stop, and they're like scoping up my truck, and I'm like I spy, and I'm like, these suckers better not steal stuff off the back of my truck, right? Because I had my gear all back there. And they drive off. Well, the next day, the sheriff comes to my house, and they turned me in for poaching.
What?
No. And I was like, oh, no. And the sheriff started laughing because, he knew who I was. And he's like, well, I have to check in on this. And I was like, well, yeah, I have photographic evidence that I wasn't poaching. I was doing a photo shoot. It just got to the point where, like, if I would go to confirm data or collect bullet drop at distance, all that data for my hunts and stuff, to get real true distance on public land, you're always taking some sort of quasi risk of, someone could drive through it. You can't close the range, and it's just not as secure of an environment. So it's just better for me to buy in a location where I could do photos and
you don't have
shoot.
to deal with all that
and
BS.
The liability is,
Yeah. So we had the guy from Boone and Crockett on earlier.
Yeah.
We were talking about conservation and what people can do to help, and reporting poachers was one of those. So I mean, you can't blame them. I mean, they thought they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's kind of one of those.
I totally get it. But my point to it is just like.
No, I know.
Having privacy, and then you go to the range.
And that's how you get away with that. You just buy a mountain.
Yeah. Well, you go to the range and just, you want to shoot. You're trying to accomplish a task in a certain time frame, and there's other interruptions. The line gets called cold. You have people with questions. They want to come over. They want to see your gear. They want to talk about your gear. And, pretty soon you spend an hour talking and doing other stuff, and you only have a certain time to fulfill an objective, and it just is harder.
Morgan, let's buy a mountain.
I would love that.
Let's mean you buy a mountain.
Let's do it.
You can sing.
Except in Nashville.
We'll turn it up as loud as we want.
The property in Nashville is skyrocketed so much.
Well, it's a good thing that you know a good real estate agent.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right?
Good point.
That's right. Mm-hmm. We can make it happen.
I like it. Mount Morgan and Marty.
Ooh.
But Morgan's like ruling the world through NRA Country right now. She is doing some great things, and
I'm excited.
I'm excited for her.
I have my social media has grown throughout the years, from my career as a singer, from my career hosting in Nashville, from having the TV show with NRA TV. Mm-hmm. It's just organically kind of grown throughout the years, and I was just having to really keep up with it. Like catch up to it, which is hard because most people focus on growing their following, and I never focus on it. It just kind of organically happened, which is awesome. But I had to play catch up in learning how to do social media and the methods around it, and it's ever changing.
Always.
So keeping up with all of that, and I started to get good at it and understand it, and so I've worked with NRA. So NRA Country is a lifestyle brand under NRA Maine. Mm-hmm. So country music, love of military, police, lifestyle, concerts,
family, God,
all of it. It's, I would say it's something I've heard it called like, the fluff, but it's not. You can't have direct call to action NRA messaging the whole time. We're going live. Kristy's going live.
Are you going live? Kristy's going live, baby.
Yes.
The lead quarters, buck
We're
knives.
the leg quarters, buck knives, and I was gonna do an impromptu social media, but I'm not that discreet. It turns out.
I'm like a squirrel. Not a squirrel. What's her? Dory. I'm like squirrel. I can't focus. So.
ADD.
ADD. That's right.
Focus, Morgan. Focus.
But yeah, NRA Country. I've been working with the NRA for a long time, and I've never been, whether it's through my TV show or now more behind the scenes on social media, and a bunch of different activations that we're doing there. I've never been more excited about working with the NRA. There's been kind of a change of guard, a lot of change that a lot of people, it's been.
Are we seeing a
public.
change for the positive now?
I think
That's what
so.
people have been crying
Absolutely.
for.
I really do.
And I know that you kind of went through a little spat there for a little bit, and now
I'm really excited about it, and I'm honest with it. Throughout the years, sometimes it has been hard, and I've told people that it hasn't been rainbows the whole time, and
it's been public,
Yeah,
So
and so the
you're
thing
not
is,
saying anything that people aren't already aware of.
no, and the NRA is owning it. I'm owning it, working with them. I'm really excited about it. Kristy is
But
on
that's
the board.
the telltale. Are they listening to the members, and are they making the changes? And
Yes.
that's what you're. Yeah,
I think so. I think
They're coming around.
This change of guard is really positive for the NRA. So I'm excited to be on board. Annual meeting is in Nashville this year,
Nashville,
which is on my
Tennessee.
turf.
That's right. Our turf.
We are gonna have some fun.
We're gonna have a good time.
A lot
If
of
you've
fun.
never been to annual meetings, this is the year to go. Not only do we need you in 2020 as a member of NRA more than ever, but 2020 in Nashville is going to be better than ever as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be fun.
have they given you any hints of what the lineup's going to be there, or?
So NRA Country puts on the big concert on Saturday night. We have a concert on Friday night, which people can buy tickets to. It's Charlie Daniels is performing at that. That's kind of
Cool.
like a formal dinner, Charlie and friends. And then Saturday night, I can't say who, but we're gonna have two really big artists.
Okay.
And that's the big concert where we close
The street.
the whole street down, and members from all over the world pour out and listen to some good old country music. So I can't say who it is.
Eminem?
but- No.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Snoop
last
Dogg?
year they had Alan Jackson, and he was really good.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, like
When is he not good?
I'm not. He
He's just
listening to him
consistently-
perform and tell his stories on stage, like. I wanted to buy his greatest hits. Like after that, I'm like, this man is really a phenomenal artist.
Have you listened to his Christmas albums?
No.
Oh my gosh, they're
I
so
love his
good.
gospel and
Yeah.
his gospel albums. He did an album with old hymnals,
Mhm.
Christian hymnals, and I thought that was awesome. But
Yeah.
he's always been
He just brings a whole new appreciation to just music in general.
yeah, and he's always been a big supporter of the NRA and the Second Amendment, and he's not afraid to show that, which is awesome.
Unusual sometimes.
Unusual, especially in country music and in entertainment in general.
Mhm.
So whenever I come across that,
You know
it
what
makes
I'm
me like him
noticing, and it may just be me, but I'm noticing that there are more and more, and country music's a little different than regular Hollywood, regular pop music kind of stuff. They're showing their support for the Second Amendment. They're seeing more and more of the mainstream people that
Yeah,
are getting
I-
into.
I have theories on that. One of
they're
them-
feeling more safe, more comfortable.
Yeah,
that they're
I-
not going to lose their audience.
That's
That
right.
they're not going to be blackballed from.
Well, they don't feel alone.
Hollywood.
I think for a long time, the term silent majority was a
Mhm.
real thing.
Yeah.
And I think when Trump won, a lot of people are like, wait a minute, we're not alone. We don't live in this little bubble. There are obviously a lot of people out there that believe
Hold
the
up,
way.
wait a minute. Let's put some Trump in it.
That's right.
Oh dang! He just laid one down.
I just did it.
Ew.
You.
So I think people are just, not as afraid. Even in hunting, when it comes to country music,
Mhm.
for years it was like you'd have secret hunters, and they would never post any harvest pictures.
Yeah.
And or shooting guns, they wouldn't post anything about that. And now, the past couple years, it's
Well, you're
changing.
seeing them here at the show. You see people walk around and you go, oh, that's such and
So-and-so.
such. That's so and
And they're not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
They say, yeah, this is what I stand for. And honestly, I think the fans appreciate that more. They want to stand behind someone that
Right.
agrees with them and that's not afraid to talk about what they agree with and what they stand
Absolutely.
for. And I think we're seeing that in country music and really all over the world. But Luke Combs he came out the gate like, I am who I am, like it or not. And
Mhm.
he just blew up because of that. So it's like, stay authentic. And if you believe in something, tell people about
You're
it.
gonna
Stand behind it.
have your followers.
That's
so.
right. Everybody's gonna have
Be
haters.
You be you.
You be you. You're gonna have your followers, and you're gonna have your
Always
haters.
gonna have the haters. Always gonna have the people
in
who
every
love you.
field, in every career, in every facet. So, just do you, boo.
Do you, boo?
Well, the thing is, I don't think you're ever going to make everybody happy.
Yeah, that's right.
You have to make yourself happy and be proud of who
Exactly.
you are and that you're fulfilling your mission in life.
That's right.
And that is all at the end of the day or at the end of our life, and we look back at this beautiful place that we've been, it's that we're making it in our minds better than where we found it.
Yeah.
And we're leaving a legacy. And some people's legacy missions are different than others.
That's right.
Ours is rooted in faith, conservatism, the Constitution, freedom, limited government.
Very limited.
And that's something, I'm proud to be part of, but there are some people that are terrified to say, hey, I support the Constitution, I support the rule of law, I support limited government, I support freedoms and liberty, because I'll tell you right now, it is a lot more popular to have a guaranteed lot in life. So there's a lot of people that are just, okay, if I know that I can have this for the rest of my life, I'm just going to be complacent, because
Right.
freedom comes with risk.
That's right.
So if we have the freedom to make choice, we have the freedom to make decisions or open a business or be entrepreneurs, with every freedom we have is a risk. So there's just a lot of people that want that guarantee. And I don't want to be taken care of.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't want
willing to
anybody tell me what
sacrifice
to
their
do.
freedoms for
But
security.
sometimes that's hard to get out and be that person that's like, I'm going to do this because I believe it's right. And at the end of my life, I'm going to look at the good Lord himself and I'm going to say, I did your work. And sometimes that takes a lot of backbone.
It does.
Yeah.
Amen, sister.
Preach, Kristy Titus. Preach.
Yeah.
So, Kristy, let's talk about what you got coming up with the show. What's new and exciting for 2020? I mean, you're buying a mountain. You're going to be doing
Bought a mountain.
your thing.
So for me, I went through a lot of stuff this fall where I'm always soul searching, and I had a lot. I mean, I literally just feel like the good Lord himself has been speaking to me in my heart in a way that has never happened before. It's been very profound for me. And I've had it on my heart that, number one, I'm really trying to be involved with activating younger people into supporting more constitutional policy, if you
Sure,
will,
yeah.
and conservative values, and also freedom, limited government, free choice, all these things. But my big thing is right now, like for this year, that I've had on my heart more than anything in order to try to spread the word of those things is educating people the truth about guns, the environment, and hunting. So I'm kind of launching this campaign. It's the truth about guns, hunting, and conservation and how they're correlated. And I'm going on this mass campaign this year because everybody in our country should understand the ramifications that come from, number one, a disarmed population, not for just the right to keep and bear arms and protect yourself against not only people that would want to do you harm, but tyrannical government, but beyond that, the ramifications that would come from the loss of the Pittman-Robertson Act, which is an act that truly spearheads most of the conservation dollars in our country.
Yeah.
So if we're looking at, there's a new movement that's going out there. Anna Paula is leading this. She's running for Congress in Florida. It's called the Green Conservative. And people should understand that gun owners are funding conservation. So you take a group like the NRA that is ensuring the right for us to have a Second Amendment. Well, they're basically ensuring the right that we're going to have wild places later on. And then with free markets, you take places like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, Safari Club International, Wild Sheep Foundation, and WTF. All these groups, small, tiny populations of people that are contributing freely and helping wild places. I mean, RMEF, since 1984, less than 200,000 members have secured, conserved or enhanced over 8 million acres and have opened access to over 1 million acres. And so you take things like that, and there's profound impacts to our environment. So I'm trying to teach that. Like, mainstream America should be afraid of the loss of hunting. Hunters enacted the North American model of wildlife conservation in the 1930s, and because of hunters, we have more wildlife.
We did a
than
good
ever.
segment on that with CJ Buck.
Exactly.
We were talking about
so
that.
that's my mission. That's on my heart. We have all these people talking about this Green New Deal, and we want you not riding in airplanes anymore. And we want our. They're trying to transform how our country runs, and the government's trying to involve themselves and
More and more.
control. Trying to control the population through these green movements, when conservationists, hunters, and firearms owners, we own this space, and we need to get more vocal, telling people like, no, we don't need your Green New Deal. We've been doing this through the free market with free choice,
And it's working.
and it's working well.
And it's been working since how long?
Well, 1930s is when the North
Right.
American model. It's the only successful model of wildlife conservation in the history that that's documented that's worked, and we're paying for it. We're funding it, and darn it, we need to be proud about it. We need to be vocal about it. And when people start talking about Green New Deal and how certain groups maybe don't care about the environment, that's not true. Conservatives care about the environment. We've been caring about the environment.
A lot longer than they have.
Well, and we're doing something about it.
Put our money where our mouth is.
We're not trying to enact legislation that's ineffective, it's not going to work, and bankrupt our country, and fundamentally change the scope of our country and how government functions. Instead, we're like, no, you can have these freedoms, we can do these things, and we can be really effective at them and not inflict our opinions on anybody.
Right.
But because we want to do this. So
But we have
that's
to
really,
be vocal about that.
Yeah, we got to get out there.
And we, as the educated, have to educate the uneducated.
Yeah, so that's like my deal. That's what I'm doing.
Cool.
It's not,
I mean,
That's
that's
not a small mission.
It's not a small
That's
mission,
what I'm
but I mean, you take one step at a time.
That's
and
right.
you start.
That's right.
You got to start it.
That's
You know,
right.
that's the first thing.
And
Start it.
you're very
Take
focused.
it
You're
where it
laser
goes.
focused on that, and I'm super excited for you because I think that well, I know one thing about Kristy. If she has something on her mind that she wants to do, she's going to do it.
Mhm.
And so
Like
I'm
buy a
excited.
mountain.
Like buy a mountain. So I'm excited that she.
Even if it means moving in with the parents.
That's right.
Sacrifices.
You're taking on all this, and we were talking about the NRA before, when all
Yeah.
that change was happening. I know it was a little bit scary at one point, being a board member and having different partners in the outdoor space. And Kristy never swayed from that. She was like, I know what I'm doing. I know what I stand behind.
Mm-hmm.
And that.
Well, and there was people that were like, oh my gosh, maybe you should quit. This is, and I'm like, wait a second. I had 60,000 people vote. What am I going to be like?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it got a little hot in the kitchen, so I'm just going to bail out on you. No, I'm there to stand and fight. I'm there to represent.
Yep. You're leading by example, and that's what we need. In this,
Yeah.
We don't need all the talk. We need the actual
Yeah.
do.
So I'm all in.
And she's a
Sweet.
doer, and I think I'm a doer, and I know you're a doer.
You're a doer,
and I
yeah.
think I just appreciate that and want to call it out when I see it because it's awesome. We need more of that.
Absolutely.
I'm excited for you, girl.
I'm excited for us because, luckily Morgan and I get to freedom fight together. So it's pretty great. I mean, all of us girls are, but we're really directly tied through NRA and kind of serving that and really trying to change the optic of the organization or the optic of the gun owner. Is a lot of people feel like they're male, white, older.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of young people. There's a lot of.
We're the most diverse community that there is, and we always have been. And
we're really poor about showing that off. Like we love.
But we're not. We show it off. I mean, look at all the events. Look at Virginia. All the people that showed up in Virginia.
22,000.
Awesome.
22,000. And there was blacks. There was whites. There was young. There was old. There was Muslims. There was
And did you guys
atheists.
see-
There was Christians. There were
Everyone.
everyone.
Did you see
Liberals.
they
There
were
were even liberals there.
They were cleaning up the trash.
Right.
These people
Yeah.
that were there doing their thing.
Peaceful
and standing,
protest.
protesting.
That's right.
They were
And they picked up
cleaning
after
up the
themselves.
trash. I've just never.
They weren't stopping
seen that.
traffic.
No.
They weren't threatening people. They weren't cracking windshields.
They weren't vile. They just
They weren't trying to start fights.
did it the right
Yeah.
way. I was so proud
So-
of that.
Well, and I work as an ambassador with an organization called Turning Point USA, and they go on college campuses. And if you watch a lot of their videos, there's some students that are actually rather aggressive and violent towards them. And it's like, okay, we have a First Amendment right. And thank God President Trump signed some legislation this year that ensures our right for the First Amendment on college campuses specifically, because there was some serious censorship that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And this group goes in there and they're like, hey, I don't want to fight you, but let's talk.
Right.
Let's
We're not
talk
here to
facts.
fight.
We're not here to fight. We're here to
educate.
talk. And so I think that's something that we all need to be really a lot more involved in. And I'm really proud to be really involved in that. And I don't want to fight anybody. But I want to talk to you. I want to talk to you about how wonderful hunting is. I want to talk to you about
when you
the
have to
wonderful stuff
fight-
that guns do.
But when you have to fight, read that.
Fighting solves everything. That's right.
Professor Paul Markle.
I'm gonna roll up my
ladies and gentlemen.
sleeves. Can you? I just the thought
But it's
of
not about
somebody
it's not
hitting
about
me in the
physical
face
fighting.
scares me. I'm like, I don't want to get. Don't
But
hit
that's
me.
what it is. It's not just physical fighting.
Yeah.
It's having the wherewithal, the
Yeah.
guts, the cojones to stick through it, and just like it's not quit. You got to keep pushing. You got to fight through the negative stuff.
Yeah, fight for what you believe in.
Fight for what you believe in, what's right.
That's
And
right.
you girls are doing that, and I appreciate that. So
What's
thank
funny?
you so much.
Morgan and Norissa and Jen have been coming to SHOT Show 8 years.
I don't know how long. Maybe
I'm
they're
at
longer
10
than me.
years. I had my 10-year photo show up the other day on my phone, so
Okay.
I'm
So you know it's
assuming
10
I'm 10. At least 10, maybe 11, but for sure 10. I think it's just 10. But we met each other like right out of the gate.
We did.
And we've done this journey together, and it's done nothing but grown. And just to be part of that is something I'm really proud of. And to see their company grow, and then they're empowering so many women, young women. We're seeing more girls be active and involved in the 2A community, and also in hunting and conservation. It's pretty incredible.
All right. Very good.
And you know what's funny? I'm going to bring it up. I'm just going to call it.
I'll just throw it out there.
This SHOT Show, we've seen it all, right? When we first started coming here, there were not that many females.
No.
We knew them, the ones, we were friends with them. I felt like it's been growing, like the demographic has been growing, which has been awesome. But we went through a period of time where, there are women coming to SHOT Show where it was a little bit degrading. And some of these manufacturers would hire them and talking
about the booth babes and things like that.
These booth babes and gun girls, and trust me, we still have that. But
The gun bunnies.
and let me know your opinion on this. I'm noticing this year, there are more females, and they're clothed, and they look like they're on a mission. I see them with their backpacks walking from one end to the floor to the other. Look like
Absolutely.
they're heading to a meeting. They look professional.
A lot of competition jerseys,
A lot of competition, females that have been competing, and I am really excited about that because I was getting nervous for a while. I would come to SHOT Show, I'm like, okay.
But again, it's one of those things where the more that we push and promote, it's like you're welcome here. You're safe here. You're not going to be judged here. You may just be getting into it, or you're not going to be talked down to. We're not going to
and they're
condescend
taking it
you.
seriously. It's not just these ambassadors, influencers that are have big numbers that are trying to get product and post. I feel like a lot of people are taking it more. A lot of manufacturers, a lot of companies here are taking a lot of what we do, social media, and being an ambassador and having professional sponsors. I feel like they're taking it more seriously and not just settling for that person has a big social media number.
Right.
But and so it's a really cool time. I've really enjoyed this whole SHOT Show because I think we're heading in a really great direction.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to females. There's more of them here. They've got me empowered.
Well, the young women that are taking leadership roles, it's mind-blowing. It's wonderful. And get after it, girls.
Get after it.
And it's pioneers like yourselves. You ladies have been coming since.
Did you hear that? We're pioneers.
You're pioneers.
I feel so old.
You are.
Just call me Annie Oakley.
Because you're not afraid. You've been doing the Lord's work now. Like you said, you've been coming this for 10 years, and you've been 8 years, and you're walking the talk, you're talking the talk, and you're leading by example. So you're showing the other up and coming ladies what needs to be done and how to do it, and how to do it in the proper way.
Well, you know what else I really love about it now is these girls, we're all learning how to work together because women can be catty animals. Yeah. And I think it's really great that you see people really coming together because together we rise, divided we fall. And that's really important. And we have so many really wonderful women's networking events here where you see these amazing women that all have their own amazing attributes, things that they contribute to the industry that are now collaborating together, and I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really inspiring. This year in particular, I feel like it's more than ever. I'm pumped.
And then this beautiful cat walks in.
Well, hello, Chad.
So, Caltech Chad joining us, ladies and gentlemen.
Gray Fox.
The Gray Fox.
His mic is dead. We have to.
You got to turn your mic on.
Make it alive.
I don't know what to do with my hands. Oh,
there you go. Now you're on. He's brought the posse.
Yeah.
Hey, posse.
My posse.
Canadian.
My posse.
Is on Broadway.
is
Devin
on
the
Broadway.
Canadian.
So Chad, we'll get your opinion on this. So Morgan threw this out. She's noticed a trend over the last couple of years that the women that are showing up to the industry events, especially SHOT Show, they're a lot more focused. They're a lot more professional, doing away with the gun bunny kind of stigma. What's your opinion on that?
I think there's always been a contingency of women like that here.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's more women that are more focused. I just think the gun bunnies aren't coming anymore.
Yeah.
Or maybe some of the gun bunnies realized that that's all that they were being used for, and they changed their game up and got
hopefully that's the case.
To
yeah.
show the how real they were about it.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a
they're
good
not
point.
taking me serious wearing the Speedo bikini thingy or whatever with the fuzzy
I mean,
hood.
a beautiful woman's a beautiful woman. Everybody likes, even
Sure.
beautiful women like to look at beautiful women. So, but there's nothing wrong with that. But just the perception of,
Right, it's the perception.
Yeah, it's like they're being used to draw people in. And they're like sex cells kind of thing.
Absolutely.
And we're here with bigger missions and
Exactly.
we're being professional and it's,
Yeah,
just,
and
it's not
and
a place for it.
If that's the case, like, people don't take you very seriously.
Yeah. Like Kristy said too, there more and more of them are being brought into the decision-making process by being on boards and things like that too.
Oh
So
yeah, and the firearms industry, I mean, needs more of it. We need more women sort of taking charge of, like, women, in my experience anyway, typically like to work with other women when it comes to firearms training. I mean, that's really the only background I kind of have with that. But
Right.
I know that women just really like to empower each other.
Yeah.
And us guys, we're kind of rough around the edges sometimes. We're always not fun to work
We're
with.
not
You
polished.
know what I mean? And yeah, it's just, I think it's awesome. I love it. And especially with gun rights and stuff, these anti-gun advocates and stuff, they say they're for women, but yet they want to take away your means of self-protection, and so it's the more women that come out and say, you guys are dead wrong. If you're trying to disarm me and make me a victim, that's not going to fly.
Right.
Yeah.
And a guy can't. I mean, I could say that on behalf of women or whatever, but nobody really takes me seriously, So women are.
But you're not represented. They don't see you as a woman. They just see you as a dude.
Of course. Yeah.
Are you saying you think they judge you because of your beard?
Don't judge me because of my beautiful beard.
Yeah. Well, I grew the beard because they were judging me because of my face, but.
Sorry, I had to lighten that one a little bit.
No.
No, that was good. That was good.
It's. I just think it's very, very important. It's a very important demographic, and it's growing, like you said.
Yeah.
And that's huge. I like that.
Yeah.
So they're Chad chiming in. Very
Thank you.
good.
Who's next?
So, Kristy, Morgan, I know you guys got to go. You got other appointments. So thank you for taking the time to be on and doing Talking Lead Girl Chat.
Always.
I mean, we'll have an official name someday for that. Maybe we'll do a shirt for it. I don't know.
Yeah, like the Richards. Have you heard about the Richards?
Is this on TV?
No, it's a group of guys that come and do his podcast, and they have for every year since you've been doing it.
It's been a long time, yeah.
And they
Yeah.
call themselves the Richards. So we needed a name.
Yeah, it was like 4 Richards and a Ralph is what it was. The Ralph was the female, and she earned that name because she had a little too much to drink the night before.
Why were they called the Richards? Why are they called the Richards?
Richards?
Yeah, why?
Like what's the nickname for Richard?
I've
What
not
is it?
Not
sure.
Rich.
I don't
It's
know.
not Rich.
I don't know.
Chad, what is it?
They're the Richard Craniums.
Richard Craniums. That's right. Richard Noggins.
Nobody wants to say it.
Right.
Nobody wants to say it.
No.
We're going to come up with our own name. Don't you worry.
It's not going to be anything like that. It's
No.
going to be unique.
Monique. The Moniques.
No,
the
that's
unique
not it.
Moniques.
That's not it either. No.
That's not gonna
Nice
work.
try.
That's not happening.
Nice try, Marty.
Well, you got till NRA to come up with it, so.
All right.
Oh
Sounds
boy,
good.
no pressure.
Right. So give your social medias and websites and all that one more time.
Yeah, all my handles it's the same handle through across all platforms. Morgan Mills Music. Come follow me. Anything in regards to the outdoors, guns,
I
and
know
country
who you
music.
are now.
What do you mean? You met her like every year.
I know, but I had bad brain injury.
To his credit, I've
That's
had
right.
different hair color every year.
And he did have a
Oh,
cranium.
you know what's so
He had
funny?
a Richard injury.
So the first year I met Morgan, I had white hair and she had black hair. And then I had dark hair and she had white hair.
I remember the silver hair.
And now we're transitioning again, and I'm back to blonde and she's back to
I'm
brown.
going darker.
So every time I color my hair, I think Morgan must be going darker. I'm going whatever it is. Like we're just like totally opposites all the time. Nobody cares.
We're very
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Sorry.
Nobody cares, but it's funny.
We're very simple. We would appreciate it if you would stop confusing us.
Guys are like, who is this woman? She looks different every time I see her.
It's like, you look familiar.
Like familiar, but you, yeah. No.
Kristy, give yours.
So I'm just at Kristy Titus across all platforms. I have a digital series called Pursue the Wild. It airs on Amazon TV, Facebook, YouTube. I've got hunting episodes, shooting sports episodes, and then a lot of tips and tactics on YouTube. So if you guys are a first-time shooter, first-time hunter, get on there. There's a lot of really good
And
content to get you
She
started.
does a lot of Instagram and Facebook posts too that
Yeah,
are
she's great with
that are
that.
really cool too. So check her out.
Sold.
Follow her, subscribe her, let her know that you're a lead head.
Let me get my phone out there.
There you go.
I
Chad's doing it
appreciate
right
him
now.
lying on my behalf. That's good for you. Thank you.
And before you leave, I want you to sign my posters.
Yes.
One fell down, but I want you to sign my posters, please.
Yes, sir.
Done.
All right, guys, we're going to be back with more at the 2020 SHOT Show here from the official lead quarters of Buck Knives. Might be Chad, might be Matt, might be Devin.
Who knows?
Who knows?
Bye, y'all.
All right, we are back, Zeke. And those were some great interviews there from the Buck Knives booth, the official lead quarters of Talking Lead during the 2020 SHOT Show.
They were amazing. Fantastic.
Which one did you sit in on? You sit in with...
I sat in on the Richard show.
Did you? I haven't released the Richard show yet. I don't think
remember,
I'm going to.
I didn't know y'all had a Richard show, and I just kept calling them all dicks.
Yeah, the three Richards and a Ralph. The 4 Richards and a Ralph is what we originally called it. But I did do a Richard show. I don't know that I'm going to release that one or not. You guys send me an email, talkinglead@gmail.com, if you want me to release the Richard interview. And you longtime leadheads will know what I'm talking about. So Zeke, for you new leadheads, Zeke used to be my co-host here on Talking Lead. We were partners. We started Talking Lead together. And then Zeke went on to other things. One of our sponsors at the time was a gunsmithing institute. And Zeke took on a role there and did great things with that company, grew them to magnanimous status. And then he took on another endeavor after that, had a great opportunity to get into TV. And talk about your TV show that you did, Zeke.
So I moved on, went and did a TV show with Discovery Channel called Master of Arms, and I was the host of the show and then the subject matter expert for the gunsmithing side.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was probably the most fun I ever had working a job while we filmed it. Once it went to air, I didn't realize how stressful that was. You know, week to week, your entire livelihood is based off, 1, how the edits went, and 2, the viewing habits of the American public.
Yeah.
Because I'm used to jobs where, I work, something gets screwed up, I either work harder to fix it, I either learn how to fix it, or I hire somebody to fix it.
Yeah.
With this, once it's edited and it's done, you ain't got nothing you can do.
Once it's out, it's out. Yeah.
It's out. And the ratings were good. We had, around a little over 1 million a week that were watching it, which is good for cable. But we were also following Gold Rush, which is Discovery Channel's highest rated show.
Mm-hmm.
So, while the ratings were good, they weren't good compared to retaining what Gold Rush had.
Yeah.
So they ended up not renewing it, but I would never go back.
They could have moved you to a different time slot, a different day, different time slot, one of the weaker days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we could have definitely done that, but Discovery made their choice and moved on from that. And it was, I would never not do that again. If I had the chance 12 more times, I would do it every.
Hell yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was people who watch the show, leadheads that watch the show, and I'm sure all of them did. You got a lot of support from the leadhead brigade there.
Absolutely.
But who wouldn't do that,
Right. I mean, it was a cool opportunity that led to other opportunities. But after that, when we found out the show was not getting renewed, I kind of took a hiatus from the firearms industry for about 8 months. I went and did some marketing in the motorcycle world and enjoyed that because I love motorcycles too. The two passions are guns and bikes.
Yeah. Now, I know you wanted to take on the role of bishop too, but unfortunately, what's his face beat you out on that role.
You mean
Thanos. Or Cable, yeah, Cable, not Bishop,
yeah.
Cable.
Okay. I don't think I would look right as Bishop. I might get in trouble for a certain kind of makeup.
Well, they can always switch it. I mean, they switch people's
that's true.
ethnicities on these.
Hey, I'm still pushing to be the Marvel version of Hercules. So
okay, all right.
Yeah. So
I haven't heard of any of that coming out yet, but
but
maybe you can do Ares.
He teamed up with Deadpool and stuff, so we could. But yeah, so did marketing for 8 months in the motorcycle world, and a few things transpired that it really wanted me to get back into the education space and guns, specifically gunsmithing, gun repair, and I reached out to Modern Gun School, and I wanted to make some stuff happen, and we negotiated back and forth for a little while.
Tell who Modern Gun School is.
So Modern Gun School is another online gun repair, gunsmithing college. I'd like to switch it to trade school. We're gonna. There's so much out there in the world right now in the dialogue on education about degrees, what's worth something. I'm telling my kids now, it's like, if you're gonna go to college to play sports and get it paid for, awesome, whatever. But while you're there, choose a degree that's going to get you a job. Nursing, accounting,
biology.
Well, no, that's mine. I didn't get a job with that.
But there are lots of jobs that are available with that.
You know what you get to say on your first day on the job with a biology degree? Would you like fries with that?
Well, I got my degree in aerospace, aviation administration, and I didn't follow that career, but there are plenty of,
there's
degrees
out there that will get you jobs, but then there's degrees out there that you get just because you think it's cool, and then you graduate and you're strapped with $80,000 in student loans.
Like English.
Yeah, English, history,
literature,
poli-sci, all that stuff.
Unless you want to be a teacher, then those are great.
Right. And if you don't see any of those you want, go to a trade school. I mean, you could go to some of these welding schools, learn underwater welding, and be making six figures right after that.
And I didn't need to go to college to learn how to fly either. I could have done that. I mean, that basically is a trade school kind of thing.
Exactly.
You can do that on your own time, your own money, and still get licensed.
And there's so many trades that will provide for your family and make a good living out there. Gunsmithing being one of them. I mean, we're at 130, 140 million guns in this country. That's a lot of guns that are going to need repair from the people who don't know how to do it themselves. I mean, right now, you're about 45 minutes from me, and within an hour radius of both of us, I may be able to count 4 gunsmiths I trust.
Yeah.
And
I can't count that many. I got 2 maybe.
If that, right. So it's a job that has security.
And I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't trust myself.
Yeah, if you get good at it, it's a job that has security. So I wanted to be able to do this.
And it could lead to bigger things too, especially it's a great ancillary training to an engineer.
Yeah.
So if you want to get into designing and making firearms, gunsmithing is key. I mean, you need to know how one works and the ins and outs of it.
And there's lots of engineers that they already have their career in engineering. They're working for some manufacturer somewhere, not necessarily a gun, but they love guns and they'd like to get into designing with their engineering background. And they can take these courses and learn a little bit more about the gun repair, functionality, ballistics, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
And they're able to, parlay their engineering knowledge with this gunsmithing knowledge they get. So it's not necessarily just I'm coming out of school, I want into guns, I take this. There's people all age ranges that want to get into it. And there's even people with our school's very affordable. So it can be a course they can take just to do as a hobbyist thing and make a little extra money here and there.
Yeah.
Repairing, family guns, friends guns, stuff like that.
Absolutely. So talk about what you're bringing to this company, to this new school.
Yeah. So what I did is we negotiated back and forth for a little while. And I wanted to have a little bit more say in the matter. So I negotiated in equity. So I'm a part owner in Modern Gun School. So
cool.
I had an opportunity to get some equity in it, did that. And my role is actually director and chief marketing officer of the school. So
congratulations, man.
Thank you.
This is right up your alley.
Yeah, and it's mgs.edu or moderngunrepair.com, either one. But
and this is accredited?
Yes, it is an accredited school. We're not Title IV, so we can't. So we're GI Bill and VA approved, so you can use that money for that if you're a vet or active duty. We're not Title IV, so you wouldn't be able to get basic housing allowance or anything like that, but you can still get the school paid for. Mm-hmm. And it's also something where, because I have equity, we can take the input of the students, we can take the input of the industry, and I can say, yes, we need to get this course added. We need to, this part in this course, people are saying this is ridiculous. I look at it, oh, wow, that is ridiculous. We can fix that. Yeah. But the course already has a lot of good stuff going for it. There's a lot of courses out there, especially some of the state-related schools, where you're not going to get a whole lot of more modern stuff, more because it's state-related and they kind of don't want to touch it. But there's a lot of good courses out in the ether, whether it's brick and mortar or online or anything. Mm-hmm. Ours, being as affordable as it is, helps offset some of that stuff. We have payment plans if you're not going to be using a GI Bill or your VA funds, stuff like that. And, relatively inexpensive compared to what you would be paying somewhere else.
Right. Now, go through just your basic course. What does that include? How long does it take to get licensed? Is it licensed or is it certified?
There's no licensing, or technically, you will get a certificate from us just like you would from anywhere else, or you would get a degree anywhere else.
Right.
There is no certifying body for gunsmithing in America. So anybody that tells you they are a certified gunsmith, dig a little bit more. Are they just getting a certificate from us, another school, whatever? Mm-hmm. So yeah, you'll get a certificate from Modern Gun School. You'll be a Modern Gun School certified gunsmith, but there's no certifying body. There's no licensing body outside of getting your FFL. You have to get your FFL to be able to take in guns, repair them, and get them back out.
Okay.
As far as, school-wise, I'll kind of go through a little bit of the outline. You got your introduction. You've got all the glossary of their gunsmithing terms you'll learn in the first unit.
Right.
How to begin. We'll talk about your revolvers.
Now, what is gunology? Is that a real word? It's like biology, but it's gunology.
It's gunology.
The study of guns.
Yeah, it's like how you learn about guns. No, it's kind of a fun play on words. Like you said, biology, gunology.
Yeah.
It's fun. That's the thing. There's safety. There is, you're dealing with a weapon, so you have to be serious, but you can also have fun with it, just like this show is.
Right.
But you learn about revolvers. Your first project.
Laws.
What's that?
Laws. You learn about laws.
Yeah, you learn about the laws. Different gun repairmen out there. We have gunsmiths out there that will have input. That even if it's something that I don't know, or even our head gunsmith doesn't know, we have the network to reach out and say, hey, this student's having an issue with this. Can you help us out? So you get a lot of assets and a lot of resources from us doing this. Project wise. Your first project is stock finishing. You get an old milsurp stock, no parts in it, just the stock itself. It's already finished, but it's not in great shape. So you have to finish it, take all the lacquer off, take all the whatever the finish is off of it, sand it down, make it nice. And you have to refinish the stock. Second project is filing. Basically, you're learning how to do the metal removal using hand tools. Mm-hmm. A lot of gunsmiths, the really good ones out there, if you walk into the shop, you don't see just a metric shit ton of hand tools, run away. Because they need to know how to use all these hand files, these little fine detail things because those are the good ones out there. Third one, you'll learn soldering. That way you can have serviceable solder joints.
So it progressively gets more advanced as you're
right. The
completing units.
Yeah, even on Project 4, a lot of gunsmiths, you'll see tools on their bench that you've never seen anywhere. It's probably because they fabricated their own hand tools. So we have a project where you have to fabricate your own hand tools, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
And you talk to a lot of these good gunsmiths, and there's things that they found work by tweaking a screwdriver, doing this, that, and the other, and they create their own hand tools. So we have a whole project for that. Stone polishing, that's kind of self-explanatory. You're doing metal removal. Bluing preparation. So preparing the student to clear the surface, polish it, and then do a quality bluing job. Then you learn about micromeasuring. That's another project we do, where they take their micrometer and...
Now, is this going through your basic project here, what you're going through right now?
This is the projects in advanced and some of the basic.
Okay. Yeah. So let's say I wanted to sign up for the Modern Gun School. What's required? I mean, is there a
Yeah, I mean, the major thing is you have to be able to pass all those
qualifications that I need.
Yeah, got to be 18. You have to have at least a GED.
Okay.
You have to be able to answer all the questions on the 4473. And for those of y'all listening, if you haven't filled out a 4473, I'm really confused why you're listening. But basically, all the questions are: you a felon? Can you wrap it up into a whole sum without saying them all? Can you legally own a firearm in the United States? That's the big thing. So if you all those answers are yes, then that's the main requirement, along with the GED and the age requirement. Now, with different states, I know the laws have changed in the last few years. So there may be certain states where you have to be 21.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. Let's say I can't own a firearm.
Mm-hmm.
Am I not allowed to work on a firearm? Let's say I go to work for somebody else.
Correct. So if you cannot own a firearm, the biggest reason for that is felony, right?
Yeah.
If you are a felon, you're not even allowed to hold one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't realize that. Okay.
So technically, if you and I went to the range, right, and our buddy John Smith, God, I hope we don't have a buddy John Smith that hears this and goes, "Hey."
Any leadheads called John Smith? Email.
Yeah, this is a
your name is John Smith.
This is a fictional buddy named John Smith that Lefty and I have. Doesn't exist, but he happens to be a felon. And we go to the range and we hand him an AR, a pistol, or any kind of firearm. Technically, we're in violation.
Really? See, I didn't realize that. I just thought they couldn't own one. I didn't know that they could not touch one, shoot one, go to the range and, rent one or whatever.
Yep.
Okay. That's interesting. So you can't technically be a gunsmith then?
Correct. And to be a gunsmith in your own shop, you definitely cannot, because you have to get your FFL.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I knew that. I was like, well, what if you work for somebody? So, but no, that answers my question. Okay.
And I'm looking up to hold a gun, felon in possession of a firearm. What weapons can a felon own? Knives with blades, crossbows, bows, pellet guns. Oh, they can own pellet guns.
But that's owned.
Can a felon be around firearms? Okay.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, felons are still allowed to associate with or be around someone who owns a gun. However, things can get tricky if the gun is around or if the person lives within their can be found guilty.
We'll skip all that. Never mind.
Constructive possession is what that would be.
Constructive possession. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if he's holding it and shooting it, the felon. Okay. Here's the definition. Convicted felon knew that the firearm was in his presence, and the felon had the ability to maintain control of the gun. Okay. So handing the gun gives him the ability to maintain control of that gun.
Okay. So you leadheads who know more about this, shoot me an email, talkingled@gmail.com. And
tell me how wrong I am.
Or right. Wrong or right. But for your purposes, for your school's purposes, you can't be a felon.
If you cannot pass that 4473, don't apply.
There you go.
Yeah. But
so all that to get to that.
as far as stuff like you need to be go through the school, everything that you need to go through our school, except for pens and paper, like we're not going to give you that. We give you. You know, you get all the hands-on project tools and all the little pieces. Like we send out a little couple-inch mock barrel, right? And it's all rusty and it's got burrs in it. So you got to learn how to deburr the barrel. You got to learn how to refinish the metal, get the rust off, stuff like that. You get a reloading DVD, so you learn about that and planning your own bench. 10-piece file set, universal gun cleaning kit, trigger pull gauge, gun stock, the finishing kit, round metal, and the finishing kit comes with stains and all that stuff. The round metal stock I just mentioned about.
Sure.
You get a piece of common steel so you can learn your micrometer measurements and stuff like that. We know the measurements when you get them. Emery cloth, acid core solder. I say solder, but you know, in the South, it's solder.
Solder.
Steel rod to learn how to make your own hand tools.
And all this is available online, right? So
all this is available.
If you're interested, you can go to moderngunrepair.com.
Yep.
Or Google Modern Gun School, and it'll come up under that too. The phone number is 800-493-4114.
Yep.
And let them know you heard them. Heard
you
about them.
moderngunschool.com?
No, moderngunrepair.com.
Yes. Yeah. Or mgs.edu. Either one of those will get you there.
Okay.
Yep.
Or call that number, 800-493-4114. Let them know you heard about them here on the Talking Lead podcast, and Zeke sent you.
Yeah. Yep. I think the biggest thing is the affordability we got too. It's one thing where that's another big discussion in the education world now. You know, I've still got student loans I'm paying off. When I graduated, it was like $65,000 in student loans, right? Nowadays, it's upward of six figures.
Yeah,
or more,
it's ridiculous.
Just depending on where you're going to school.
It's the biggest legalized robbery next to insurance.
Absolutely. Yeah. So you've got, with our school, the advanced course right now. There are things we're working on that because of our accreditation, I cannot say what they are. So there may be an increase soon, but right now for our basic and advanced, the advanced is $21.99. If you pay cash, it's $19.99. If you want to do a payment plan, you know, if you pay $99 down and you want to pay $89 a month, it's 22 payments. If you pay $99 down and you want to pay 30 payments, then it's $69 a month. So you're
all very flexible really on working with somebody's budget. Yeah,
absolutely. We don't want it to be like, okay, it's you know, $50,000 and you either get a student loan or you pay us $500 a month. None of that. We want it to be affordable because we want to create a platform and a resource for the gunsmithing world that's going to benefit not just the students, but benefit the industry as a whole, you know.
But on top of that, you got a no-risk refund policy also.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah. You offer a student tuition protection policy that covers cancellations and refunds. And you can refund the policy.
Yeah, and there's even a 10-day, like you said, that no-risk money-back policy. Like you can try it for 10 days. Once that 10 days starts, once you get all your stuff. And if you're just not happy and you think it's dumb, then send us everything back and you get a full refund.
Or life happens and you just decide that you don't have the time to do it at this time.
And that happens a lot too.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
Nope.
Well, very cool. So moderngunrepair.com or MGS, what is it?
mgs.edu.
Or just Google Modern Gun School. And I'll put links to it in the show notes so you guys can link to it from there as well. If you go to our website, talkingled.com, we'll have links there as well. Now, where are they based out of? Where's Modern Gun School based out of?
They're based out of Delaware.
Okay.
We have offices in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and now Nashville.
And now Nashville. You got brick and mortar here in Nashville?
If you consider my house, yeah. I would love to someday have a brick and mortar version of this where people can come and take it, and we could have guest instructors.
Right? But how cool would that be?
That's down the road a ways. I know you had asked earlier or mentioned something about the time it takes.
Yeah.
So typically it'll take somebody around 12 months to finish it. You kind of go at your own pace.
Sure.
But one of the advantages with our course is that you can work at your own pace, and we give up to 2 years to complete the school. So it's one of those where if you get into it, you're like, oh crap, I don't have time for this. We give up to 2 years to complete your studies. So you can do it on the weekends or whatever. But once
you've got people available if you have questions or troubles.
Absolutely.
That they can contact. I'm sure you've got some sort of like a chat session or something like that you guys set up. I don't know.
Yep, they can reach out to us at any time. The number you gave, the 800-493-4114, or just hit us up on mgs.edu, and you'll be able to find everything there.
Very cool.
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations again, buddy. I know this is going to be a big on-taking for you. I mean, starting it up and bringing them up to the next level, I'm sure. But we're here for you. So anything we can do for you, the Leadhead Brigade, just give us a shout.
Thank you. Yeah, and soon to be hearing our name mentioned every time you hear a Talking Lead podcast.
All right, Ro. And speaking of, we got to thank the sponsors of the show. I failed to do that in the beginning of the show. KelTechWeapons.com. They're going to be the official lead quarters at NRA. I'm sure you're going to be at NRA, right?
Yep, I will be there.
Very cool. You'll have to come by the KelTech booth and holler at us. We're going to be there.
Always.
Set up. So you guys go to KelTechWeapons.com, go to the social media Facebook page, and let them know how much that you appreciate them allowing us to set up in their booth. And if you leadheads are going to be there, come by the booth. We always have some cool swag giveaways. You never know what we're going to have. Did you get one of the things from SHOT Show that we had?
I got a very special thing from SHOT Show.
Yeah.
But I don't know if anybody else got it.
Yeah? What'd you get?
You got it for me. It was a little special buck knife when somebody certain autographed it with the engraver.
Yeah. So
So
for those lucky enough at SHOT Show, we gave away some limited edition Talking Lead buck knives that Mission First Tactical engraved for us. And it's not just engraved. I mean, that's like that ink is in the plastic there, so that's not going to scratch off.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of their 110 folders that they did for us. But we're not going to have those at KelTech's booth, so unfortunately, you're not going to get the knives, but you never know what we're going to have. We're definitely going to have shirts, I do believe. Have some cool shirts. And then, of course, Modern Spartan Systems. Don't just clean your firearms, optimize them with Modern Spartan Systems line of cleaning products. You've got your copper destroyer. You've got your lubricants, the accuracy oil that's going to make your firearms. I mean, it's been proven. It actually increases the accuracy of your firearms.
We need to tell them to kind of like rip off a certain car company.
What's that?
And shorten their name to Mospar.
Mospar? Yeah. Yeah, Mospar. I like Mospar.
Instead of Mopar, Mospar.
Mospar, absolutely. I like that. I'm sure Marcus would go for that.
Oh, yeah.
Check them out at modernspartansystems.com. And, of course, that TVT engine oil additive comes in handy on the old lead sled. I got over 300, and I'm hitting 320,000 miles on her right now. And that TVT engine oil additive is keeping her running smooth. Put in all my engine-driven utilities. What are they? Engine-driven thingies? Thingies?
Ride around on wheel.
I mean, even generators.
Devices.
Yeah, I put them in my generators, my lawnmowers, everything.
All your combustible engines.
There you go. Thank you.
There you go.
Boom. I knew that Gunsmith and Brain would come in handy. So my ammo is here.
Nice. Good timing.
Perfect timing. Stand by. You got 2 seconds here?
Yeah.
Let me go grab this.
Standing.
You keep talking.
Oh, okay. So while Lefty's gone, everybody just go to mgs.edu. plug. And follow us on social media. So go to Modern Gun School, all one word, on Instagram, on Facebook. Follow us there. We're really trying to get our social media footprint growing. That helps get the word out because we're going to start partnering with the other podcasts. We'll be partnering with Talking Lead, a bunch of other different people. So can I hear you? Yeah, you can hear me? Wow. Lefty just walked out of the room, and I guess he's doing the show from a distance, which is kind of cool. But follow us on social media, Modern Gun School, Instagram, Modern Gun School, on Facebook, and just see all the cool things that we're going to be doing over the coming months and years from there. But there's going to be some really, really cool stuff going on. This is fun. Lefty doing a ammo shipment.
False alarm.
False alarm. It wasn't your ammo?
No, it was my massage appointment.
Well, you don't have to edit that because I just plugged our social media like crazy. So
okay, cool, very good. And then I was on Fiocchi. Speaking of ammo, Fiocchi ammo.
Yeah.
Got a pallet full coming this way that we're going to be testing and trying out on various different firearms that we've got here in the lead quarters.
Nice.
So check them out, and they're frangible ammo. They're new frangible ammo. You definitely want to check that out. If you're shooting at the steel targets, you're doing competition shooting, that frangible ammo, you'll greatly appreciate that.
Sweet.
So in case you guys didn't know, the Talking Lead website has been down for the past 4 days. When I got back from my birthday trip, the website was down, my refrigerator went out, and my garage, my auto garage door opener went out. So
that's not good.
I had all that waiting on me when I got back, so I probably missed some of your posts. Sorry about that. I'll go back and check them out. But the website is up and running now. We got it running, so you can go. All the podcasts are still there, so you can go get the past episodes there if you're not listening on iTunes or one of your other favorite.
It was the banana hammock picture that you posted from your cruise.
Is that what it was?
It crashed the site.
It crashed it. Mission First Tactical, doing great things with us. We got the Kel-Tec giveaway with the CP33 coming up. Mission First Tactical is doing a custom holster for that CP33, and they're doing some engraving on the CP33 and the holster, some custom engraving. So when we have pictures of that, we're going to post it. But we've got a Kel-Tec flashlight that's going to be included in that. Buck Knives has included one of their fixed blade knives. Fiocchi is going to do some like 1,500 rounds of 22 ammo. You're going to get a certificate for that. And then Smith & Bradley Watches is going to do one of their new Springfield watches. So we're going to be calling this the Ultimate EDC giveaway with Mission First Tactical, Kel-Tec, Buck Knives, Fiocchi, and Smith & Bradley. And that's going to be one of those Gleam type, I think it's called, giveaways where you got to go and you got to like and share and do all that. You get more entries. So that's going to be cool. As soon as that kicks off, be watching our social media. We'll make announcements there and, of course, here on the podcast. But we're looking at doing that about mid-March here, so coming up. So stay tuned. It's going to be an awesome giveaway.
Nice.
And then make sure you guys go and support Sheepdog Impact Assistance, SDIA, sheepdogia.org. They got the gala coming up, and several of our sponsors and friends of the show are donating for that auction. We're putting together a very cool package from Kel-Tec. It's going to have one of their RDB survival rifles. Century is donating a Canic. Mission First is doing some holsters and some other things. Smith & Bradley Watches is going to put up a couple of their watches. And we got several other companies that are committed. And it's going to be the Talking Lead and Friends. Actually, it's going to be the Talking Lead and FLIOA and Friends package that we're putting together. FLIOA, Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association. Our good buddy Bill Hampstead, also known as Bildo Teabaggins. He loves it when I call him that. So that's going to be coming up as well. And then Royal Range. If you're in Nashville, you guys want to make sure you go by Royal Range USA. Zeke's been there. It is probably one of the premier ranges in at least this area of the country. Probably the country. It's a 5-star range, and you can shoot everything from a 22 all the way up to a 50 BMG. They even have miniguns. They shoot miniguns at this range. It's ridiculous, the things that you can do there.
Royal Range is badass.
They are. They're good. Art and the crew up there, great bunch of people. They're not gun snobs. They really want to help you, educate you, and make sure you get the right firearm for your needs. Royal Range USA, check them out. And then our good buddy Danny at Dipstick Hydrographics. Zeke?
Oh, he sent me a picture this morning. I didn't get a chance to look at it. Hang on.
It's probably a dick pic. Knowing him.
Oh, no, he sent me, it's Dr. Squatch Irish Cream and Whiskey Soap.
Oh, nice. Okay. Very good.
Nice. Okay. Now I finally get he asked if I started a whiskey soap company.
He thought you were behind that one, huh?
Yeah.
Twisted X, the official footwear of Talking Lead during SHOT Show. I got a pair of those boat shoes of Twisted X to wear on my cruise, and they fit the bill perfect for the cruise. And Pepper got some sandals. They've got boots and all kinds of different shoes. Check them out at Twisted X, most comfortable shoe that you will wrap your foot in, guaranteed by me. I don't have anything to give you if you're not happy, but if you're not happy, you're stupid. You're just stupid. And then, of course, the AK Corner is going to be coming up soon, the 15th, around the 15th or so. The next AK Corner presented by Century Arms, Canic, Red Army, Standard, U.S. Palm, and Occam Defense Solutions.
Since I have a friend involved,
okay,
and let me rewind about 30, 40 minutes.
Okay.
When I say friend involved, it's not one of the actors that makes millions of dollars. It's not, there's lots of people on movies that, make $20 an hour. So since I have a friend involved in Bloodshot, go see Bloodshot. Marty gives it a thumbs up. Did you say that? 2 thumbs up?
It was good. I enjoyed it.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, and we're
well, it's one of those
guys,
where, I got to, I got a screening of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to go see it again. So, yes.
Perfect. So there is a good, but go see it. Yeah, because I'm helping them push that out. And
is it Rocco?
Not officially. No. Rocco's not involved with that one. But it's somebody on the back end side.
Oh, okay.
So, yep. And the funny thing is, I'm not a big Vin Diesel fan, but I've heard he's not your typical Vin Diesel in this. So maybe it's a little different.
I don't know. I mean, he's an action hero, so it's got a lot of action in it. So.
Yeah,
it's just the whole concept of what they came up with for how they, made him the way he is. So yeah, it's cool. I'm not gonna give anything away. No spoilers, but
all right, cool.
It's cool.
That's all.
The effects are really cool.
Modern Gun School on all social media.
There you go. And then make sure, if you didn't go back to last week's episode 338, we had Paul Marcolon, Keith Garcia, Frank DeSoma with POF, Patriot Ordnance Factory. Great interview with Frank. Really liked his stance that he was taking on some of the things in the industry. So make sure you guys go back, listen to that. U.S. Arms Company doing some great innovative things with the AR-15, with the electronic trigger, the cam system to really cinch and lock your upper and lower together. And then, of course, ASP with their new Spectrum DF flashlight. And don't be surprised if that doesn't work its way into one of our giveaways coming up soon, too. I'm really enjoying this light. I've had about 2 weeks to get some hands-on with it. And I like it. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more in episodes coming up. So, Zeke, again, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Congratulations on your new
time to have me.
Yeah, congratulations on your new digs, brother. And we're going to be going to Royal Range this weekend.
Okay.
So if this gets out in time, Todd Jarrett is going to be there.
Sweet.
At Royal Range. STI will be there.
Nice.
So if any of you lead heads want to come out. We're going to be there. We're going to have the lead quarters set up, doing some interviews with him and STI. So that does it for another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. As always, leadheads, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.
Gunsmithing.
And your gunsmithing school at mgs.edu.